RTR Mustang duo. You got Pit Stop Pete. Look at this gentleman right here in the hands of this driver. His model by his side, Colette Davis, and the pilot of the AutoZone and No Tire Drift HQ Mustang RTR Spec 5D. It is Adam LZ. Next up, pilot of the United States Air Force BMW from Las Vegas, 18 years old. Make some noise for Brandon Sorensen. Next up, this gentleman made a lot of noise in New Jersey. He's always got a smile on his face, hanging loose, throwing the shakas. The garagistic BMW E36 on Federal tires. It is RCP Rome Charpentier. Next up, in old red, new red, big red. Make some noise for the Pacific Northwest driver. The Link Engine Management GT Radial, Travis Reeder Motorsports BMW. It is Travis Reeder. Plenty of drivers representing this country, but here's another one flying the Norwegian flag, piloting that Boost race fuel. Norwegian Drift Champion. He is coming to us, obviously, from Norway. TireStacks.com, 2JZ, all new Supra. It is Simon Olsen. This gentleman lives right down the freeway. He's going to sleep in his own bed, hopefully next to a carbon fiber trophy. A Formula Drift veteran from Long Beach, California. Renewable lubricants, Mazda Tricks, KMR RX8. It is Kyle the Menace Mohan. Let's see what kind of dance moves these gentlemen have on track, off track. The Evo Auto Works Nissan 370Z on GT Radials, NRG Innovations. It is Jeff Jones. Dance moves on the track. Let's see what he can do on the track behind the wheel. Here is your current points leader and gunning for the championship. He pilots that Falcon tires, Borley exhaust, Drift Cave, Heat Wave, Corvette, the 777. Your current points leader by 11 points. It's coming down. How's he gonna do? Make some noise for Matt the Beast from the Bay Field. Next up, he's got his kid on the roof, and he's a kid behind the wheel. He's gonna throw down in this Facetto Nissan 350Z. He's from Becker, Minnesota. Let him know you're here, Alec Robbins. It's a family affair out here for Formula Drift. He's got his daughters on the roof. They got the same suits. They're looking good. They're feeling good, feeling right. Let's see how he does tonight in the FCP Euro Liqui Moly Bill Stein BMW. Former champion, it is Michael Essa. This gentleman has been here since day one. He's been competing here since 2004. He won here last year. He's ready to do it again. He won most recently in Utah. He's in that Threes Racing, Marty's Toyota Gazoo Racing 86. Make some noise for the OG, Kenshiro Gushi. Another Pacific Northwest driver that won in the wet in Orlando this year. Suited and booted in that Momo, looking good in that royal purple BMW with a 2J under the hood. Make some noise for the dozer, Dylan Hughes. Next up, He is your two-time and defending champion. He is your 2021 champion, and he is only 11 points behind your current points leader. He's gunning for the championship with the rock star on his back. He's going for it. Can he join the three-time championship club? TBD, make some noise for the Norwegian driver. That is Frederick, the Norwegian Hammer Osbo, the Rockstar Energy Drink Toyota GR Supra Nitto tires. Rounding out this Toyota trio we see here on track, Toyota wins the Manufacturers Cup Championship. Piloting that Rain X truck and SUV livery, Toyota GR Corolla on Nitto tires. Saying hello to his wife and son. He's got some fans cheering him on. Make some noise for Ryan Turk. Last but definitely not least, the poised one, that is the pilot of the Falcon tires, Feel Suspension S15. Make some noise for Odi Bakshis. There are your top 16 drivers. Who's gonna win here tonight, and who is gonna hold the heaviest trophy of them all, the 2022 Formula Drift Championship Silver Cup? Again, Toyota, congratulations for the Auto Manufacturers Cup Championship. Tire manufacturer is TBD, to be decided, but we'll find out who the champion is. You can see the composure, the excitement, the fervor. Who's ready to send it, Irwindale? Stomp your feet, make some noise for our 16 gladiators of Formula Drift. Let's get a wave going. Those that are closest to the big bank, send it towards bank 2. Closest to the big bank, outside zone 1, you're gonna stand up, send it there and back. On 3. 1, 2, 3, send it. Come on now, let's see if you got a wave in you. Let's see how excited it is. I know y'all wet. Y'all soaked from the rain. So why not continue the party? Dry off your hands, dry off your feet. Now you're gonna send it back from the VIPs. Send it back this way. Let's send it! Formula Drift Nation. Round 8 of the Formula Drift Championship. The Type S title fight, presented by AutoZone. Matt Field, our current points leader, 11 points, leading the hunt for the cup. Frederick Osbo, behind the wheel, second in points. And there are current point standings. You can see 610, 599, 11 points separate our points leader. And again, talking about you know, the hunt for not only first, but of course, who finishes second and who finishes third overall in the championship. And we are getting staged and getting ready. All right, so we have a special guest up here. And representing United States Air Force, this is Sergeant Stephanie Sinclair. Let's scoot back here, Sergeant Stephanie Sinclair. Thank you, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So, got it first and foremost. Your first Formula Drift event?
Second.
Second. Where were you at? Were you here last year?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Don't call me sir. Just kidding. No, thank you so much. I appreciate you showing up. What do you think? Do you have a favorite car out there?
Obviously, I love Brandon.
Okay.
He's
I know
my favorite.
it. I know. Well, and obviously with the Air Force livery, it makes sense.
Yep.
All right. So, how long have you been in the Air Force?
19 years.
19 years?
Yep.
Did you start when you were like 5?
Yeah.
Like you look mad young.
Thank you.
Yeah. So we're making a lot of noise here on track. But the United States Air Force, thank you for your support of the series, and thank you for your support and protection of what I think is the best country in the world.
Yes.
I'm American. My grandpa was in the Air Force. Rest in peace. He flew in World War II, and a lot of the Formula Drift fans know that. I let them know I have his plane tattooed on my arm and all that. But
amazing. Thank you.
No, thank you, and thank you to him. And again, thank you for United States Air Force support. What got you to enlist or join the United States Air Force?
Honestly, I wanted to travel. I wanted to see the world, and I just wanted to do something bigger than myself, like help out and meet people.
Yeah. Well,
learn
here
some
we are.
skills. Yep.
So did that come to fruition? I mean, being in 19 years, have you traveled, and what destinations have you gone to?
Yeah, so I've got to live all over the United States. I've got to deploy. I've got to touchdown in England. I've deployed to Turkey and just met a lot of amazing people, helped a lot of amazing people, and just really got to see the world. Yeah.
Yeah. And what roles have you played, or positions have you played in, or obviously contributed to the United States Air Force? What positions?
Sure. So I joined active duty as a medic.
Okay.
So I did that for 10 years, and now I've been in recruiting for the last 9.
Yeah. Okay. And so now people are kind of looking for options. Maybe they don't want to kind of, like you said, be bigger than yourself. I like that. And do something kind of larger and get involved with the country. Maybe somebody's looking for something like that. They don't want to go to school, or they want different education, maybe get their school paid for. There's those options.
Yep.
And they want to travel like you. How can one kind of find information about that? You're obviously local. Like you said, you're in recruitment for 9 years. Where's the information, and where can they find out? And what do they do?
Yes.
What's the next steps?
Absolutely. So we have offices all throughout, Southern California. There's also websites, airforce.com, goang.com, that they can look up and find a local recruiter. And then really you just have to be a high school graduate or a high school senior, take a test, take a physical, and then we can help you find a job based on your scores. We really have a variety of things, a lot of maintenance jobs. You like Formula Drift, you like working on cars. We have a lot of jobs that fall right in line with that to kind of get your foot in the door.
Awesome. So either the website, local offices, come see you. What office are you at? Where are you at? Where are you located at?
I'm at March Air Reserve Base in Moreno Valley.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm out that way. I'm in Riverside. So yeah.
Oh.
Awesome. Yeah.
Right down the street.
I'm very familiar. Yeah. So awesome. Well, anything else you want to add? I mean, as far as, obviously we know that Brandon, you're in Brandon's corner.
Yeah. Go Brandon.
Go Brandon. Yeah. So, all right. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And thank you for your support of, again, United States Air Force, for, supporting Formula Drift, and of course for supporting our country. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
All right. So again, thank you so much to the United States Air Force. Thank you so much, Staff Sergeant Stephanie Sinclair, right? Okay, thank you so much. All right, we'll be back here, and you can see Adam LZ throwing some fuel in the tank and throwing some Nitto tires in the corner, as well as Chelsea Denofa when we come back here. This is the House of Drift, Round 8, the Type S title fight presented by AutoZone.
Seeing last ain't nothing that you can do about it.
Welcome to round 5 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship. We call this the Crossroads. Matt Field, the guy to beat, but right behind him, Frederick Osborne, Chris Forsberg, and then Ryan Turk sits in 4th.
It's go time. Let's do this.
These cars these days, they're so insane to drive. It's really difficult. You're kind of on the knife edge all the time.
Man, what a crazy event.
We got 20 seconds to shine. We can't make any mistakes. If you do, you're out.
Oh, we got contact. Oh boy.
Priority right now is keeping everything together.
Earlier today, we saw some great conditions. We saw some rain. We saw only 2 battles, actually 3 because one went one more time. We saw some wet conditions, and now, guess what? We are not going to stop until we find out who wins at the House of Drift. Who is your 2022 champion? Oh man, look at that. It was crazy earlier. I'll tell you what, if you're just tuning in, we are live from the House of Drift. I'm Jared Dienda. I'm going to be your tour guide, the voice of Drift. It's my pleasure, and I'm so proud to be part of this drifting community. Those names and many others, the unsung heroes of the technicians, the spotters, the sponsors, the people, the fans, the judges, the crew, the staff, everybody that plays an instrumental role has gotten us to this point, our 2022 season. Here is how the top 16 has shaped up. Frederick, the Norwegian Hammer Osbo, going against Kyle the Menace Mohan. Next up, you got Odie Bakshis versus Dylan Hughes. Matt, the Beast from the Bay Field, versus Adam LZ. Travis, the Walmart greeter reader, going against his boy, Chelsea Denofa. On the other side of the bracket, you got the former champ, Michael Essa, going against Kenshiro Gushi, one of 2 gentlemen that's been here since 2004. You got RCP, Rome Charpentier, going against Jeff Jones. Also Brandon Sorensen, going against Simon Olsen. And then finally, Alec Robbins versus Ryan Turk. They will be completing what we call sight laps. Now, sight laps is to get a feel for the ground. Matt Field, Frederick Osbo. So this bears repeating. We're going to the top 16, talking to President of Formula Drift, Ryan Sage. The scenarios is this. In regards to the championship, there are the points at stake. Mathematically, again, Matt Field is ahead of Frederick Osbo, leading the charge by only 11 points. So the scenario is, if Frederick Osbo gets knocked out right now and Matt Field advances, basically Matt Field would win the championship. If Osbo advances and Field loses, Osbo would be champion. It's that close of margins. That's why it's so important. Every battle between those 2 counts. So we're gonna really be fixated on Osbo and Field, that vehicle right there, and of course the Rockstar Energy Drink, Toyota GR Supra. So Osbo, you can see him getting prepped there. Ryan Lontaine, gonna bring you in here, talk about, what's going on. Did you talk to any drivers? I know, just in between. We always talk about the championship, but just winning here is a special thing. I mean, you've seen it, you've felt it, over the years. A champion might be crowned as early as now, 16 or 8 or 4. It's gonna happen in 4 at the latest. But it's been a wild year, man. Seven rounds previously, 7 different winners. Are we gonna see a different winner? There they are. I don't know, your thoughts, your sentiments as we enter into our top 16 of our final round.
Yeah, I ran into Matt Field's spotter earlier in the hallway, and I said, how's the feeling right now? Are you stressed? Are you nervous? Are you excited? He said, I'm here enjoying a drift event. He said, at this point, there's no point in being stressed out because what's going to happen is going to be out on the track, and we just have to do our best to get that result that we want. And he said, it's what we're here for. This is what we live for. This is, being here in the contention for the championship. People say, oh, it's stressful, it's difficult, but this is the goal. This is what we're looking for as a team. This is where you want to be.
All the work's been done previously. He's lacing up his Momo boots right there, and he hasn't won yet. It's not locked in, but you could just see, just the prep, the mental space. Matt's take a very active role. And I hosted the K&N pit party, and I said, what's next? What are you working on? He says, you know what's next? I just want to chill. I want to ride jet skis. I want to, enjoy time with my wife and my dog and my family and my friends, and trying to hear just the banter. And I think that really feeds into, we saw this with, I would say, Vaughn Gittin Jr., where Vaughn Gittin Jr. was, Vaughn would push really hard, and he'd want it so hard. He almost overcooks it. Mm-hmm. I think Matt Field has hit a stride where Matt Fields hit that stride where basically his mental space is calm, and he's kind of in a good place. You know, he just seems to be at peace with it, and whatever happens, happens. Like you said, all the pieces are there.
Yeah.
It's already set in motion.
And he's taking his aggression out on the kettlebell right now.
I think that's therapy.
It is.
Honestly,
that's what I'm
therapy.
saying.
Yeah.
This is something that helps you calm down. It's something that helps you get that nervous energy out as well. And it's, you know, he's definitely changed his approach to what he's doing over the last couple of seasons. He's training, you know, physically, mentally, getting himself physically fit, mentally fit, because it takes so much now to be that professional. You know, you see pictures from like the 50s baseball guys are like smoking cigarettes and drinking beers in the dugout, like and now they're athletes, and it feels like drifting has gone through that, but in a much shorter period of time, where people are partying and hanging out and everything, and you know, it's if I win, I win. Now it's a serious business. People are like, they're all doing these. You see often drivers doing the hand-eye coordination challenges, whatever you want to call this, exercises, which brings up an interesting point. You need a really good coach and assistant to be doing this, because they have to be able to catch and throw the ball too. But yeah, it's a very different arena that we're in now, and the level of professionalism and the level of professionalism you have to have in not only your mind but your physique as well.
Yeah, I would say the prep work is done off track, on track, some of the things you can't see, and you know, overall I think, you know, we saw this. I would relate this to Supercross. You saw this kind of shift in Supercross, body awareness, all of those kind of things, and you know, we're talking about Matt Field a lot only because he's points leader, but also Frederick Osbo. I think he's got nothing to lose, and I said that earlier, only because he's your defending champion. Of course he wants to be back-to-back and a 3-time champion, but I feel like he's even more calm. I mean, we're talking about Matt just because it's his first, but if Frederick gets this is a big feat in itself too.
Sure.
And he does a lot of prep work. He's behind the wheel a lot. You know, and you know, we saw the Permatex keys to victory. You know, lead car, outside zones, leave those outside zones where they end, tight to those inside clips, decelerate after the elaborate on that. Decelerate after the transition past inside clip 1.
We want to make sure the drivers in the lead aren't decelling at inside clip 1, first of all. Also, if they decel beyond it, we want to make sure it's after they've transitioned for outside zone 2. So definitely got to get that car slowed down in the right direction. The chase car, of course, needs to be close, needs to mimic line, angle, and transition points, of course. And then they need to get through the smoke. That's an important one. A chase car can get lost in the smoke so easily, but really positioning yourself so you don't, and crossing that smoke line real fast so that you're not getting hung out to dry there and you're not losing your spatial awareness of where you are on the track.
Yeah. We're taking a look here at the Pedal Commander burnout box, and what's going down here is because of the rain on track, precipitation, you know, the very inconsistent conditions, because of some areas, it looks like the rain has stopped falling from the sky, but it still exists on the ground. So you're barely seeing any smoke, but you can see the wet patches there. You see that big puddle? That's going to play a role. That puddle right there, the drain, and we need to get that off, and we are working on that. But we're, you know, have to work with what we're dealt, and that's why we instill sight laps, so they get familiar with it. And look, if they have an incident, so I mean, look at how patchy that is.
Certain areas of the track are drier, like the outside zone 1 area being on that pretty steep incline. The water's all run off of there and has dried pretty well. But then you come into outside zone number 2, where it's a little more flat, and the water is not drying so quickly off the track in that area. So looking at the decel map here, the decel at initiation is very small. Some drivers in the data that we received during practice didn't even have a decel there at all, but some did. So we decided to put that little decel area there. It doesn't mean that they can slam on the brakes.
Abuse it.
This is just a quick little adjustment, enough that it can trigger the light, but it's very short and very quick. And like I said, not everybody's doing it. The big decel, of course, is after inside clip 1, going to outside zone 2. That's the one that we were saying. As the drivers go by inside clip 1, as they transition the car, that's when they slow down, after the transition.
Kyle Mohan, who's here in the top 16, goes right into that puddle.
cooling off his tires. That's strategy right there.
Right. So Kyle Mohan has not seen top 16 since round 1 in Long Beach. You know, Kyle Mohan currently sits 32nd. Fredrik Asbo, #1 qualifier, 2nd overall from Ski Norway. You know him, you love him. Rockstar energy drink pilot in that Toyota GR Supra on Nitto tires. Fredrik, the Norwegian Hammer Asbo. Kyle the Menace Mohan from Long Beach, California, the lone rotary in competition. I think it's a big battle for Kyle Mohan. We'll see how Fredrik Asbo manages. He's got the clean air. He will get the lead. Also, third place battle, or the battle for third place is heating up too, primarily between Chelsea Denofa and Ryan Turk. Here we go, the first battle of our top 16. And Fredrik Asbo throws it into the outside zone. Looks like Kyle Mohan gets checked up a little bit. You know what? That smoke is a great sign. That is showing us that, as you said, there are dry patches, but that's the big. It slopes down. Now going to the second outside zone, you kind of want to temper it because look, minimal smoke. You're making steam. You see the wet patches, the shine. And Fredrik Asbo seems to be having a lot of great composure. Ew! He was flirting on going inside. Oh boy! Mohan slaps back left, wheel gone. Big slap on that back right corner.
Wow.
And that looks, the wheel broke.
Yeah.
The barrel of the actual wheel is still within that tire. That's a big hit.
That is a big, you can see all the spokes still bolted to the hub right there, which is a good design feature. The wheel breaks first.
Yep.
You don't break all your suspension pieces, but this is going to require some time to get that thing back into the pit area now. And but I think the story here is how imperfect Asbo's run was there, right? He's #1 qualifier.
Yep.
And on outside zone 1, watch his line. Look at where his car is positioned. He's not up high on outside zone 1. Is that strategic, or was that an error on his part? You can see that he misses the majority of outside zone #1. He's way, way, way low there. In the chase, of course, Kyle Mohan made a pretty big mistake after initiation. Right here, you can see that Asbo does get into outside zone 2 better. Still not all the way on the wall, though, but that, again, could be strategic. We don't know, because it's probably really slippery right on the edge of the wall where all the rubber was laid down. Right there, Asbo, very low amount of angle, and then Kyle Mohan hits the wall. So some errors from Asbo in the lead. That low angle through inside clip 2 is a pretty significant one there, but that hit with on the wall there with Kyle Mohan on outside zone 3, that was a pretty significant hit. The car got up in the air a little bit there. You can see him bounce up. So Asbo's angle is very low by inside clip #2. We're kind of reviewing that up here on our replay system. And watch on the replay here as we look at Kyle Mohan's hit through the puddle. Very dramatic exit of the track right there.
The scenario too here is that you talk about Asbo, is that strategic? Also take into consideration, Asbo hasn't seen wet conditions until that sight lap.
Right.
So with being the kind of guinea pig, for lack of a better term, being the first pilot to go out, might have set it up for loose settings, or for slick settings, and it actually surprisingly maybe had more grip than expected.
That is totally possible as
well. So
yeah.
there's many different scenarios that could play a role here. I mean, given that the Asbo, Asbo and his team is operated by Papadakis Racing, they have so much equity and history invested in this track. Back in the day of even Stefan used to be the drifter himself. I remember when he piloted a vehicle alongside Tanner Faust, he hung up his helmet and curated his team. Taking Tanner Faust to multiple championships, obviously now taking Asbo to multiple championships. So the equity they have and the knowledge they have in regards to Irwindale is very deep. But also, I was talking with Chelsea earlier, and I don't think we've ever seen a wet competition. We might have seen practice, but I'm trying to recount if there's ever been a wet Irwindale head-to-head battle. I can't recall any. So pretty interesting. So,
it is, yeah.
So as we're getting Kyle Mohan off the course, let's learn some more about the Norwegian Hammer and his vehicle primarily of this Rockstar Energy Drink Toyota GR Supra.
What's up, guys? Fredrik Asbo here, and I'm doing a car breakdown of my number 151 Rockstar Energy Toyota GR Supra. So let's start off with the heart of it all, the engine. This is a B58 motor, which is the motor that comes with these cars. It's a straight 6, 3-liter turbo. This one's stroked to 3.16. Run a big Borg Warner turbo. We run ethanol fuel, and it makes, depending on the track, from 900 to 1150 horsepower. A factory shell, obviously, as per FD regulations. We're running a Pandem body kit, Motegi wheels. These are billet custom wheels, built specifically for what we're doing. Inside the car, gutted as it should be. Running a full cage, obviously, with the NASCAR style door bars, the OMP rally style steering wheel, the 2-spoke, which is my favorite. Factory dash, the factory steering column, running a G-Force GSR transmission, which is pretty much industry standard in drifting. It's quite busy in the back, even though there's no trunk compartment really. We have the fuel tank in here, the radiators in the rear, again to promote a rear weight bias. The nitrous bottle right here. We're running usually around a 200 shot of nitrous. This is the car that we won the championship in last year, and we haven't really changed a lot of things up for this year, simply because we think we're close to having extracted all of its potential. All the other guys in the field have done major improvements, so we know that we're going to have to continue working on our setup, working on our skills, working on what we're doing to hang with the best of them. And that's our plan here in Long Beach this weekend.
All right, as we are getting the track cleared, you can see Kyle Mohan will drag him off course. But man, you know what? We're up here in the booth. Perspective-wise, Lorette is feeling all the heat down there, or the moisture. She's been enduring the rain, but I guess, you know, I think she's still got a smile on her face. Lorette, down to you. How are we doing?
I'm right. Let me see. Hey, Freddie. Sure. Oh, sorry. So, guys, a lot of stuff going down here in the hot pits. Frederick Osbo sitting in his car. Mario, his mechanic, looking in the car and checking in with them. Right now, Freddie's just trying to keep a cool head. Me and the drivers normally have a pretty good agreement that if I can go in for an interview, they'll look at me. If I cannot, they'll still stare straight ahead. That's what Freddie's doing right now. So I do not want to break any type of concentration. There's a lot of buzz down here. There's a lot of nervous energy. It feels like it's kind of changed from top 32. There was like a really vibrating type of energy, and now today, right now, nervous energy. So these guys have a lot on the line. Freddie, of course, is going for his 3rd championship. And guys, I will keep you updated as those updates roll in.
Thank you so much, Lorette. Really appreciate it, and I think that's absolutely just out of respect, and again, good deal. So he's gonna back it up. I think he's gonna take a look. Look how meta this is. Oh my gosh, this is so meta. Freddie watching Freddie on Freddie.
How good do I look on camera right now? I look pretty good.
That's a great shot. I think, yeah, somebody text him, whoever's phone that is. Tap it to the left. It'll back it up.
Go back.
All right, so Frederick taking a review, taking a look in the cockpit of your defending champion, Frederick Osbo. Wheel parts all over. Meanwhile, Mohan getting towed off. So we'll get some sight laps going for our next duo, and that should be Odie Bakshis and Dylan Hughes. And Odie Bakshis and Dylan Hughes, 2 fierce competitors. Talked to Odie's wife and spotter, Amy Bakshis, and so Kyle Mohan has called his competition timeout, the NGK competition timeout, and NGK is, again, look at that wheel. Like you said, that kind of salvages some of the suspension. I mean, it still takes, you know, kind of blunt force trauma, but with it breaking like that, sometimes that it is designed to take that hit. But yeah. Speaking of NGK and our NGK competition timeout, oh, look at this. Lorette's going to wrap out with the menace, Kyle Mohan. Lorette.
So the first thing I asked Kyle is, are you okay? Are you hurt? He said, no, I'm fine, no problems. And you also want to get this car off of the bed of this tow truck because you guys are going to give it a go.
Yeah, I mean, really unfortunate incident. I mean, track conditions are really difficult out there right now. Right at the end of the track, it was way slipperier than what we had experienced on the other portions, and I just slid into the wall chasing Osbo. I know he's got a big advantage right now, but if we can put it back together, I'd love to get out there. We've had a great run so far at this event. Renewable Lubricants, Mazda Tricks, Exity, everybody who's taken care of us. I just want to get out there, give the fans a show, and do the best we can. So.
What do you think the damage is?
Luckily, it doesn't look that bad. It just looks like the wheel and one of the main control arms. But we don't have one of those components down here, so the crew's back at the pits grabbing some stuff. We're going to do our best.
Kyle, thank you so very much. And as you guys can see and hear, we are right next to the burnout box. And the guys getting ready to go. I can see Dylan Hughes in the burnout box right now.
Thank you so much, Lorette. As Snoqualmie, Washington's own Dylan the Dozer Hughes, Odi Bakshis from Lithuania, now living in Wrightwood, California. He's been there for quite some time. Field suspension. The gentleman does a lot of really cool stuff with suspension. I know, even Matt Field has switched over to Field. Those guys being frenemies. Says, hey, you got a lot of knowledge. Help me out. But the driver's on side lap. What do you want to add, bud?
Nothing. I was just listening to all your beautiful words, Jared.
Oh my God.
Is it because I looked at you?
No, I like that, where Lorette has this kind of known thing where if you look,
Just
like
observing.
No, it's you hit your comms button. That's why I thought you wanted to say something, if I'm being honest. So these are side laps. Odi Bakshis, Falcon Tire, Field Suspension, S15. He's running that Vortex Supercharged LS. Seemed to get a little out of shape there, but that has no bearing on the outcome. This is getting a feel for the track surface, the conditions.
I like how you worked the name of his suspension brand into that.
Getting a feel for the track?
Getting a feel for the track,
yeah. You can't really, I mean, are we going back in time? Maybe like BC racing, like as opposed to AD. Are we going BC?
BC, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. We are seeing pulling up to the line. All right, this is Dylan Hughes' sight lap. Dylan Dozer Hughes, winner in Orlando. He knows how to drive in the wet, and we saw that in Orlando. Look at it, just packed out. Oh, shnikes. Oh, bro. And that's a hard hit.
I understand that we need to give drivers their sight lap, but this is the danger of a sight lap.
But if this was a battle, game over. But like, do we do that? And
yep.
And these are the scenarios.
They are the scenarios. Things that need to be done. Of course, we have to give drivers the sight lap. I'm not saying we shouldn't, but the danger of a sight lap is always there. This is always something that can happen. It's unfortunate. Right now, we'll get him off the track. He will have to call a competition timeout to fix his car, which is going to hurt him going forward in your own competition as well. So you hope you don't have to use your comp timeout, but if you do, strategically you want it to happen as late as possible in competition.
All right, so Dylan goes in, backs it in. And here it is. So Dylan Hughes, watch Dylan. So his side lap, he goes, initiates, locks it up, slips, comes around, slam, that front left.
Yeah.
And he's just going backwards.
Yeah.
That wheel just clack, clack, clack. So like, look at the way the wheel is faced. That grip, that is causing absolute damage to that front left, going reverse on that wall.
I wonder if we'll be able to read royal purple on the driver's side now.
I might have transferred onto the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, man, look at these wet conditions. So that front left might be broken.
The flatbed's busy tonight, Jared.
The flatbed is busy. Just Mother Nature, man. Just this rain. All right, here we go.
Yeah.
Watch this. Let's see if we see what kind of damage. This is where the work begins. No repercussions as far as the outcome of this battle, other than competition timeout and to see if they can fix the darn car.
It sort of looked like the drone almost crashed there too, Jared. Came awful close to the pavement. That's a skilled pilot, though. He knows what he's doing.
Okay, and Dylan's hooked up. I think pride more than anything. When nothing's at stake and you crash like that. Talking to Dylan earlier at the K&N pit party, he's feeling confident. All right, so, you know, while we're cleaning up Dylan getting off the course, he's from the Pacific Northwest, and honestly, one of my favorite tracks. Love Evergreen Speedway, love the fans in Monroe, the area, the breweries, and just the good people, the good vibes. So let's take a look back at Formula Drift, the battle in Seattle. All right, well, it's been a tumultuous beginning here. We saw Osbo and Mohan. Mohan goes into the wall on that last outside zone, breaks the wheel off. Then Odie and Dylan Hughes. Odie takes a side lap. Dylan Hughes takes a side lap. And on initiation, he goes into the wall. So he gets towed off. So guess what? We are going to advance on to Matt Field and Adam LZ. How crazy is that? Already taking a look at Dylan Hughes outside of his vehicle on that flatbed. This is a battle that many are waiting to see. Matt Field, a contender for the championship, current points leader, only by 11 points, going against arguably one of the most talked about drivers in the Formula Drift paddock. That is Adam LZ. He's hitting his stride. He's it's taken him a long season. He's on his maiden voyage behind the wheel of the RTR. But that gentleman right there, the 777 MF, Matt Field, doing it for San Jose, California. Adam LZ, originally from Woodbury, Connecticut, now living in Florida. That is Florida. The AutoZone RTR, BC Racing Nitto tires, Mustang RTR Spec 5D. Remember, trophies are given out both for the round and the championship. We have our banquet tomorrow night. We'll celebrate the culmination of a 2022 season. Matt Field warming up his tires, so you got to think, Dylan Hughes, he's on Falcon tires. There's the points standings. With Dylan Hughes on Falcons, Matt Field on Falcons, getting some communique. What do you think's going through Matt Field's head right now, Ryan?
Well, I talked to him earlier in the season and asked him, what do you do in each run of the battle? Do you assess the competitor you're going against, and do you drive differently against different people? Do you put on more pressure or drive harder? Or he said, no, I try to do my best all the time. I try to lay down my run. So what I'm guessing, and I don't know Matt Field that well, but I'm guessing based on what he said that he's in his car, playing through the run in his mind, where he needs to put his car, where he needs to put on the best line possible. He's trying to visualize his perfect run, and these conditions are going to make that really tricky. Like you said, we may have never had a wet competition here, practice, maybe qualifying, but competition in the wet here, this is a whole different animal for everybody. So it's going to be tricky for everybody. That's the great part, right? It's not just tricky for one driver, it's tricky for everyone. They all have to get out here. They get one lap to figure out what the grip levels are, where there's grip, where there isn't, where they should go, where they shouldn't, and then they have to throw it down as hard as they can in battle.
And what's interesting also is you saw Matt kind of break it up and look at those different areas. Adam LZ, what's also interesting here too is this was intended to be our third battle, right? So we were talking about it earlier, Ryan Sage, president of Formula Drift, and I. Basically, Osbo, if he would have advanced on, that would have dictated Matt Field, right? And what happens now, the roles are reversed.
Yeah.
Matt Field's about to go against Adam LZ. So Matt Field won't get any finality as far as locking up the championship now, because he obviously needs to advance in order to have the championship. But Osbo now would need to advance as well. So he does have one half of the battle, between Osbo and Mohan, and Osbo does have that advantage. So that's got to play a little bit of a mental role. As much as you kind of park it, compartmentalize that, I think that still he has some little granular thoughts about what's going on with Osbo over in that first battle. That's right. Yeah, we're getting a message here. The last year of James Dean, it was raining super bad in 2019. That's right.
Thank you, Alexandre Papy-Lepine.
Yeah.
Some information that our memories are bad. We're getting old. It was back in 2019, but thank you for that bit of information.
Chelsea's the one that said, have we ever had it really wet, Irwindale? Oh, that's funny. All right, so we are back to the start line with our points leader. Championship implications are on the line. The outcome of this battle doesn't signify that either Field or Osbo gets the victory, because, again, Osbo still has to finish out his battle between Mohan, Matt Field, Adam LZ. LZ looks like a different LZ than we've seen previously this season. Look at how patchy that is, Ryan.
Yep.
I mean, you're seeing dry spots, you're seeing wet spots. What we want to see is smoke. Now, watch how much smoke gets kicked out. The Falcon tires, oh my gosh! Matt Field backs it and spins out! Matt Field spins out and hits the wall.
I think the silence says it all, Jared. Wow.
This is huge.
Huge implications.
The shockwave that ripples through the House of Drift. This is what I was talking about. You have to take into consideration Dylan Hughes is on Falcon tires. And not to say that they're slipperier than others, but they're running similar tires. It's slick up there. We just saw Dylan back it in. Yes, you took a sight lap. Was it a full pull? Where is it at? Let's take a look at it again.
Well, the thing is, your sight lap has to be on the line you intend to run during competition, and he did his sight lap fairly low. And right there, he was on throttle trying to get out of LZ's way, I'm guessing. So he's on throttle trying to get the car to spin and hopefully drive out of the way because he doesn't want to get plowed into by that big Mustang. And he ends up on throttle, gunning it straight into the, well, not straight, but angled into the wall. So it just looks like Matt Field was up on a line that he wasn't accustomed to. It is way slipperier up on that rubbered line there than it is down low where he did his sight lap. So it seems like it's a bit of a miscalculation. You know, the sight lap is, like I said just a minute ago, you need to run the line that you tend to drift on so you know the grip level, and it is slippery up near that wall right there, because that's where the majority of drivers through practice and qualifying and practice again were running and laying down a thick coat of rubber. If you walk out there on the track, there's rubber that is pretty thick. I wouldn't say, maybe like a 1/4 inch thick out there, and it kind of curls up the little edges of it. And once you put water on that, you can imagine putting water on rubber like that, it gets very, very slippery. So I understand why Matt didn't go way up high on his sight lap, because he didn't want to do this on his sight lap, but he should have at least been up on that line and sort of like understeering a little bit, you know, maybe not full speed, just to see what the grip level's like, because clearly it was not the same up there as it was down low when he did his sight lap. So these are tricky times. You don't want to end up like Dylan Hughes, where you put it into the wall on your sight lap, but you also can't not take the chance to go up there a little bit on that sight lap so you can prepare for this competition, you know.
Talking about scenarios while you're elaborating on this as well, and I'm hearing everything you're saying, but this is just a crazy turn of events. Matt Field leading into this round, closing in. So the scenario here is he had an incomplete up front. That was independent, absolutely
Yes,
independent.
100%.
LZ is not part of that scenario.
Yeah.
Here's Dylan Hughes. We talked about that, but let's talk about this championship, because did not expect that at all.
Yeah.
You know, you take everything into consideration. So the scenarios are, Matt Field spins out, he's got an incomplete. LZ needs to have an incomplete in front of Matt Field in order for Matt Field to even have a shot.
Yes.
Probably a one more time.
Yeah.
So if that happens, they'd go to one more time, and Matt Field would absolutely be saved. Say LZ doesn't have an incomplete and he finishes, and it's decent, you know, and it gets him past. Osbo still has the second half of his battle between Mohan and him. Mohan is currently in a competition timeout. We don't know if Mohan's even going to finish his car. Osbo might get a win by default of Mohan not being able to fix his car. Those are some of the scenarios. So, and we are seeing, you know, Freddie's people. So that's the Rockstar Energy crew. They're hanging over there with Kevin, and that's obviously competition director, and that's Frederick Osbo. Helmet hasn't come off. He's, you know, he's got his spotter in his ear. He's got Steph Papadakis up in the spotter's tower. He's in his ear. Just insane turn of events here.
Thinking about LZ right now as well. He's sitting in his car. He knows what just happened in front of him on track, and now he knows the pressure's on him. He needs to put together a lead lap. He wants to win this round of competition right now, right? This battle. He wants to win this battle. He wants to move on to the top 8. He wants to go beyond that, right? So right now he's got his strategist, his spotter, talking to him in his ear, trying to calm him down, trying to keep him on an even keel, and saying, you just got to put down a lead. You know, typically when there's a crash like this, we say, will the driver, will the team be able to fix the car?
Look at this real quick. That's Freddie.
Osbo.
That's
You got to get
that's
this.
Sean. That's Sean. He's an Adam LZ fan right now.
Yep.
If he does this, this does not solidify that Frederick Osbo is your 2022 Formula Drift champion. That does not solidify he is your back-to-back. That does not solidify that he's another member, third member of the 3-time Formula Drift Championship Club. If LZ wins this, that does not mean any of those things. When we get over to the Mohan outcome, when we get to Osbo running, is it a bye run? Is he going against Mohan? He still does have an advantage. Mohan got into the wall independently. So there's many different pictures to be painted here. And what's crazy is, you know, all of this is unfolding, and just all the other drivers, pay attention. It's slick up top. You know, I heard. And
I'm giving Jared big eyeballs right now.
yeah, so it's slick up top there. We're gonna find out what goes on here. We're pulling Matt Field off, his Falcon tires, Drift Cave, Borla exhaust, Corvette. Crazy turn of events here. Let me get with Ryan Sage, president of Formula Drift. Ryan, if you can, you know.
Yeah, there's a lot going on right now, guys. We're hearing some stories. I don't know if anything's confirmed yet, but I'm sure we'll get some information coming to us here very shortly. And we will relay it to you as soon as we get it confirmed. So you see Matt Field there being towed away on the flatbed. I was saying earlier, I don't think the damage to his Corvette is serious enough that he won't be able to fix it in 5 minutes. So the expectation is that they will be able to fix that front right corner of Matt Field's Corvette, and he will be coming back to do the second run against Adam LZ. So I think we will get that. That's the expectation here. The hit wasn't a high-speed hit that would damage anything beyond repair, I don't believe. So we should be able to see him in competition. Osbo is getting fed some information right now about what's happening. So, he's definitely got the stare of death in his eyes right now. He's just focused.
I think it's focused. He knows what's going to get done. Updates now.
Give me all the updates.
Ryan Lontaine, Formula Drift fans, the updates here. Frederick Osbo is pulling to the line. He has a bye run. Kyle Mohan unable to fix his vehicle. Osbo advances into the Grade 8. Frederick Osbo, pilot of the Rockstar Energy Drink, Toyota GR Supra, advances on into the Grade 8. He's going to take his bye run because Kyle Mohan unable to fix his car in the competition timeout. Also, Dylan Hughes, pilot of the Royal Purple BMW, unable to fix his car in that competition timeout after he hit the wall. So Odie Bakshis will advance on. They will take their both bye runs, Osbo and Odie. Now, the big story is, as you said, you're elaborating on Matt Field, the condition of his car. That front right corner, buckled. That thing has seen a lot of contact with either drivers, including Frederick Osbo at round 1, including with walls, all these certain things for Matt Field. The big thing here is you can see the 5-minute clock, the NGK competition timeout being utilized. Here's the bracket. Frederick Osbo will move on. Edimus Odie Bakshis will move on. Matt Field and Adam LZ, TBD, but that we just saw what unfolded for Matt Field hitting the wall. The question is now, will Adam LZ deliver a good lead run, knocking out Matt Field? That would solidify Frederick Osbo as your 2022 Formula Drift champion, back-to-back champion, and 3-time champion. The Norwegian Hammer could lock it up. Not right now, but Field still has the fate in his hands. More importantly, Adam LZ has the fate in his hands. Here's Frederick Osbo. This could be a potential victory lap for him. You can see that front right corner of Matt Field. Here it is, your defending champion, Frederick Osbo, in that Toyota GR Supra, the Rockstar Energy Drink, flowing through the veins, Nitto tires on the corners. The Rockstar Energy Toyota GR Supra got a victory in Atlanta. Second in points, 11 points behind Matt Field. He completes his bye run. He advances on. He is now 4 points ahead as lightning strikes in the back. The Norwegian Hammer harnessing the power of Thor. High fives all around for the Rockstar Energy Drink team. Toyota solidifies the Automotive Manufacturers Cup.
So earlier on Osbo's first lead run against Mohan, we were saying, is it strategy? Did he miss his line? Was the initiation wrong? Was he not able to get the car up? It seems like it was strategy. They knew the line was slippery up there, and he said, you know what? I'm just going to keep it safe on a line that I know is grippy and dry, because if I go up high, what happened to them is going to happen to me. Potentially, that's what it looks like, right?
Twice in a row.
Yeah, so, you know, if you expect as a lead car in the first run, you set the bar just below the slippery part of the track up near the wall. If the chase driver that then goes into the lead on the second run goes up there really, really high, chances are they're going to go in the wall. Or they're going to try to match the line you took. That's a good strategy, I think, because it kept him out of the wall. It basically got him that win.
I'm analyzing what's going on here. You can see that they don't have hands on the car. So right now, Matt Field and his team, you can see all hands on deck. What's going to transpire here? They have 5 minutes once they get hands on the car. They're going to break it down. The 5-minute clock has started. So they are on that front right corner. But right now, you can see Adam LZ looking on. That's Frederick Osbo. He's watching the stream. Here's Odie Bakshi's. This is his bye run. Unfortunately, Dylan Hughes in the Royal Purple BMW not able to make it in his competition timeout. Odie Bakshi's taking that lower line.
More strategy.
I think that's a tempered, smart approach. We've seen back-to-back Falcon tires. You know, they're, again, not slicker than any, but it's position of the car. You know, it's where you're at. We talked about this earlier, coincidentally, with Adam LZ. Yeah. Adam LZ at breakfast this morning, got my acai bowl, saw them there, and he says, tight to the wall is really loose, and then 2 feet off, it's got grip. We are 1 minute into our NGK competition timeout. So there it is, moving on into the grade 8, Osbo and Bakshi's. Here is the Matt Field team. The Drift Cave is thrashing. Matt Field, look at that. You see he's got power tools in his hand. He's gonna knock off that front right corner. They're pulling the headlight off. Less than 4 minutes left. 5 minutes allotment. Can they get the car back up and running? That is the question first and foremost. If they get the car back up and running, he'll be in the chase position against Adam LZ. The championship now is 5 minutes, right? So now 3.5 minutes. They have to get the car back together. Otherwise, they lose by default to Adam LZ, and Frederick Osbo will be your 2022 Formula Drift champion. You can see the Part Shop Max, the gold, the signature gold, the field suspension on the corners, the Carbon Kevlar, the HGK, the Falcon tires on the corners, the Forge Star wheels, and you can see the excitement, the fervor. Look at how many hands are on deck. This is it. I mean, this is literally it. Just getting the car together, Ryan. That's what they need to do first and foremost. Then they need to go against Adam LZ. Then Adam LZ needs to put down a lead run, and then we'll find out the outcome. Osbo, Field, the clock ticks.
This is good entertainment, Jared. Look at how many people are working on that car. The time's going down. You can tell how Field cares about this. You know, you see other drivers sitting behind the wheel with their helmet on, waiting. He's got everything off. He's there with his hands on everything, making sure that it's going to be done quickly and done right.
He says broken right side, upper and lower, the shock. They have corners, they have parts. You see him sitting there to the right. Can they do it? You know, the tools are out here. 2 minutes. Let's see that clock. Kevin out there in the background. 2 minutes, 2-minute warning. You know, this isn't a stick and ball sport, but every minute counts, especially in times like these. The championship, again, is on the line. If he does not get this car back together and on the ground in 2 minutes, the championship is Frederick Osbo's. And this is just what rain is all about. It's sticky, it's slippery, it's odd, it's weird, and guess what? Drifting, the drama continues. It's a culmination of 8 rounds. It's not just one round. This is Irwindale. This is the 8th round of 8. There's 7 previous rounds. We've seen a different winner each round. Matt Field has not been one of those. Frederick Osbo won in Atlanta. It's about attrition, keeping the car together, keeping the team tight and right, and not saying that they have not done that, but that is what is coming now. 1 minute and 20 seconds for a championship. The power tools are out. The shock is on. The wheel needs to be on the ground. I don't know if they have time. It's not looking promising. Matt Field and his team could very well be, and it looks like all signs are saying, that they will be second place in our 2022 championship. 1 minute, 60 seconds, and the clock is ticking down. The Rockstar team watching on. Frederick, he's watching the live stream. He's seeing what's going down. Frederick Osbo, two-time Formula Drift champion. He won a few years ago, and now here he is again. 2022 champion, is he going for it? 2021 championship, back-to-back. And with this championship, he will join the three-time championship club. Chris the Force Forsberg, James the Machine Dean representing Ireland, and now a Norwegian will join that three-time championship club. The Hans device goes on, and Matt Field sits inside of his vehicle, and that's exactly where he needs to be in 10 seconds. This is the drama that unfolds, and it looks like Frederick Osbo will be your 2022 Formula Drift champion. And it's not official till Adam LZ runs on the course, but we know that the car runs. Round of applause for Matt Field and his team. Again, unofficially, you see the Rockstar team, Steve Mateus, Jen, and Rockstar Energy team, the official energy drink of Formula Drift, Frederick Osbo. You know, coming into this round, you know who just spoiled this whole thing and just was Mother Nature. The rain played a massive role in this event. This is our final round, the title fight. Again, unofficially, he is your champion. It's not official till Adam LZ pulls to the line and takes his run. Adam LZ is in the burnout box. Pre-celebration begins. And once Adam LZ leaves that start line, Frederick Osbo will officially be your back-to-back defending and three-time Formula Drift champion. Adam LZ pulls to the line. There's Dmitry Brutsky, two-time Pro Spec champion. Hugs all around. Rockstar will be popped. And here we go. Back to the start line to see Adam LZ. And once he crosses that start line, Frederick Osbo is now officially your 2022 Formula Drift Pro Champion. Adam LZ goes around the course. Lay out and listen as Adam LZ progresses into the Grade 8 for the first time this year. And there it is. Make some noise for your 2022 Formula Drift Pro Champion, piloting that Rockstar Energy Toyota GR Supra. Now, three-time and defending back-to-back FD champion, Frederick the Norwegian Hammer Osbo. Make some noise, Irwin Dale. Let's go down to Lorette Nickel, who is with our now three-time back-to-back and defending FD champion. Lorette, how is it feeling down there?
Frederick Osbo, I think the news is finally hitting you. A little bit different from last year, still the same emotions. You are our Formula Drift 2022 champion. You have done it for the third time in a row. I don't even know how you were able to keep cool and keep your heart rate down today.
I did not keep cool at all. I mean, that crash I had on the side lap, it was just by the slimmest of margins. I was able to save the car. And then when Kyle unfortunately went into that wall on that run, I was 100% sure I was going in also. So this ended up being a lot of carnage. And then I see Matt have one of the most unfortunate situations you can have, you know? And here we are, you know, 3-time, back-to-back. This is the stuff that I've dreamt of.
Yeah, and you and your team celebrating and so excited, obviously. The track, the course out there, how slippery is it?
It's the worst conditions I've ever been in. If you're up there on the bank, it's ice. It's literally ice. If you're down a little bit lower, there's more grip than there was before. So it's extremely treacherous, very hard to try and find that line because you can't see where it's wet and where it's not wet. And that's why we're trying to just get through there. It's about survival at this point.
Fredrik, last year you told me when you won your second championship, and it was so emotional, you said it was so hard fought. To be in the history books as one of the only drivers to collect 3 championships, how do you put that into perspective?
I mean, it's, how many 3-time champs is there? There's 3, right? There's Forsberg, James, and me, and it's a pretty cool club to be a part of, you know? And I went into this year trying to have that same drive I had last year. We started off really strong. I was arguably a little too strong there in Long Beach, putting Matt in the wall, and we won in Atlanta. Then had sort of kind of a mid-season slump. Got to pull myself out of it with the help of good friends. My mentor, Jan Erik, who's here today. My team, of course. They're on it every single time. They keep our spirits high. We have great vibe within the team. Ryan and I bounce off of each other real well. So, you know, this is what it takes. We have the whole family here tonight with Rockstar, with Angus, with Toyota. Love you guys. Thank you so much for coming out, all of y'all.
Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the 2022 Formula Drift champion, Fredrik Osbo.
The emotions here are it just seems different for Freddie. Like I said, he had nothing to lose. He's already defending champ, you know, he's 2-time champion. He's going up for it. And Matt Field, I want to say it, and I'll just say it wasn't his fault. It was the track, and Freddie just elaborated on it. It was super slick, and finding that line. And right outside, it's grippy. So then that grips up, and you saw that, where he slipped, came around, he's on throttle, and it shot and grabbed traction and shot him up to the wall. Yep. So one thing, it would have been, okay, he spun. That's an incomplete. Insult to injury, gripped up and threw into the wall. Yep. So it's the track's fault, and that's an inanimate object. You can point fingers and you can yell at it all day, but guess what? It doesn't care. The track is unforgiving.
And boy, was I wrong about the amount of damage on Matt Field's car. I thought that would be fixed, no problem, but clearly there was a lot more damage there due to the angle of the hit. And anyway, here we go. Next battle.
So not only are we crowning a champion, but we're crowning a winner of Irwindale. So Travis Reeder, Chelsea Denofa, these guys good friends, and look at that. So now they're all saying, okay, let's keep it low. Yeah. Let's keep it low. And I think everybody's going to do that because we saw all these lead cars go into the wall. They're going to keep it off the wall. And surprisingly, we were talking about the bank, how the water's streaming down, but guess what? The second outside zone, it seems to be drier. It's more consistent. Oh, man. Great run by Travis Reeder and Chelsea Denofa. Great way to kick back up. Get the vibe going, baby! Look at that. That smoke there. That is a sign of a good time, my friend. Wow.
All right, let's see what kind of replay we can get here.
Oh, there it is.
All right, Travis Reeder up front. Chelsea Denofa in the chase. Little bobble from Chelsea in the chase position there. Getting himself nice and close to Reeder on a slightly lower line, but moves it back to where he should be near the end of outside zone number 1. Transition here, great job by Reeder, and you see Denofa there getting himself positioned. Reeder had a little bobble at the beginning of outside zone number 2. Chelsea right there with him, great proximity, great mimic, nice and tight through the finish line.
Clear to send run 2. Here we go with the second portion. That was a great way to get back in, you know, just crazy. So great to see, you know, don't want to see a champion be crowned this early on. Would love to kind of see them meet in Final Four, talking about Matt and Fredrik Osbo. But right now, guess, whoa, Reeder surges to the side of the, oh, and Reeder looks like he gets out of shape. He shoots off, but Chelsea Denofa continues on. Chelsea Denofa in that second outside zone. There goes Travis Reeder, but he had that major mistake in the chase position. Chelsea Denofa, he got a win in Seattle earlier this year. Woo! Oh no, Chelsea. So here's the reality. That was exciting, but you have to have control across the finish line. Let's look at this again. So watch Travis Reeder. Okay, so taking a look back here.
Yeah, there was
Get
contact.
the bird's eye view.
Contact on outside zone 1. It looks like Reeder got into, maybe it was just a light touch. Watch right here as he straightens up.
Oh.
Was there contact with Chelsea's left rear wheel potentially?
Oh yeah. Watch Reeder's.
Yeah, the front
right
end comes
bumper.
off of his car there, right? And then you see Chelsea continuing through outside zone 2 here. Little bobble right there. I think the big question is over the finish line. We talked about this earlier, spinning over the finish line. It's not something that we want to see. We want the drivers to be in control over the finish line. And again, this is something that the drivers have pushed us for and are all in agreement with. They all want the drivers to be held responsible for a spin over the finish line. So that is a clear and obvious spin from Chelsea over the finish line, trying to put an exclamation point on his run with a lot of angle at the finish line.
You can see the Toyota teammates of Ryan Turk, who is gunning for 3rd place. You know, he came in 5th, only 10 points behind that man, Chelsea Denofa. The scenario is, as you're saying, Ryan, as I see you looking at multiple different angles here, the drivers are waiting the outcome. The scenario is, as you said, control through the finish line. This would essentially, by first glance, seeing Travis Reeder, contact, comes out of shape, Chelsea Denofa goes across the finish line. You talked about it, I'm just elaborating on what you said. Those are, it looked to me that he spun out. He didn't have control.
Yep, that's exactly it, Jared. So that'll be an incomplete from both drivers independently. The chase driver incompleted first, and then of course the lead driver incompleted on his own at the finish line. So in that situation, you know, Chelsea's going to be, I'm sure, a little upset with himself there. All he needed to do was get over that finish line and complete the run, and I believe that would have been his to win right there. Now it comes down to the first run. Because both drivers completed in run 2, we revert back to run 1, where we will look at who did a better job. Now it's, of course, comparing apples to oranges because we're comparing a lead run to a chase run. And it makes this very tricky, of course. Right. So this is just going to be our moment here that we'll have to take and figure out who individually we think won that battle.
And this just equates to Irwindale. It gets a little wacky at times, and you know, like I said, Mother Nature, the track, these are things that we are absolutely not in control of. When it rains and we can't, you know, dry it out quickly, so it's an interesting turn of events here. So Chelsea Denofa, Travis Reeder, these guys good friends. Travis jumps out of his car. And you can see them jumping out of the cockpit, taking off the lids. You still see the smiles here. These guys, and looked like they had smiles, and now it looked like they had smiles, but now it's looking a little heated. So what's so it's again what's crazy here is, you know, just with that bank, and you know, Frederick Osbo elaborated on, you know, going too high and it's slick, you stay low and it's got grip, but finding all of it, it's pretty interesting. So The scores are in the Royal Purple Top 16. Slide them left for Reeder, right for Denofa. Third place is a hot battle, and Travis Reeder gets the victory unanimously. Travis Reeder gets the win.
This is going to take some explanation, Jared.
Yeah, you know what? Again, the third place battle heats up, and I'm hearing boos, but I think we have, relax, listen. Nobody wants to hear relax, right? But we're gonna elaborate. That was unanimous. We have multiple different angles. Let's walk us through here, Ryan.
Right here, you're gonna see, so if we can back that up a little bit, we'll try to slow it down to show everybody what happened there. Chelsea in the lead position, after he initiates, he gets on throttle. Then he grabs the handbrake. When he grabs the handbrake, watch Reeder's windshield. You're going to see right there the decel light, because he was trying to decel to avoid contact. Right after that, Chelsea gets back on throttle. Reeder manages to stay in drift, gets back on throttle as well. But then Chelsea grabs the handbrake again, and this time Reeder, after having gotten on throttle, has absolutely nowhere to go. You can see his decel light come on again. So Chelsea is at fault because that's an on-throttle area. You're not supposed to be grabbing the handbrake through there, and he grabbed it twice. The second one is what, right there, was what Reeder tried to avoid the contact, and that's when he straightened up and went off track there. So it's on Chelsea Denofa for making those errors with the handbrake pull, 2 decels in a row on outside zone 1, which is absolutely not what we want to see from the drivers. Despite the wet line and despite them driving lower on the bank, everybody is expected to still stay on throttle and carry momentum through there. A chase driver that has somebody do that in front of them while in proximity has absolutely nowhere to go. And in that case, Travis Reeder is not held responsible for that early spin.
Oh man, look at that. So Travis already conversing with Lorette Nickel. Lorette, what's the dirt?
Well, so I was just asking Travis, because you could see him get out of his car and just shaking his head. So explain to me and everybody else what you just started telling me.
Like, I drive these cars a lot, and that was the sketchiest thing I think I've ever done, just because the line, you can't run the high line, obviously, because you're going to crash. So I'm sure everyone's going to try to run mid, but the track is so hooked up in the mid that, like, you can't even, the cars won't even drive down there. So it's basically a battle of who makes the least mistakes, and you have to force yourself to run a line that you're docking points on purpose, I guess, if that makes sense. So it's super difficult, and I hate that, like, you hate to win like that, you know? And I wish we could have just ran again, but I guess I was just close enough to Chelsea that when he checked up the handbrake, they deemed the contact his fault when I hit him and straightened. So, I mean, we'll take him, but, like, I wish the conditions were better.
Sorry, and did I hear you say that you and Chelsea had an agreement before you left for that battle?
No, I think, like, just the entire paddock has probably just, like, an unspoken thing right now that, like, no one's going to run the high line, because this track's already got a ton of marbles up top, so where they want you to be, the car's loose and wavering, so it's just amplified right now because the water sits on the rubber, and yeah, it's just way worse than it was even earlier today.
Travis, thanks for your time. Jared, Ryan.
Thank you so much. Some great insight there, and what's great, and a testimonial to you, Ryan and Brian and Chris, is he was saying, like, oh, I guess because of the handbrake into that. He didn't even hear your elaboration on that, but he's like, okay, you don't want to win that way, but that's the fact of the matter.
Yep.
And like you said, unspoken, all these things. And that's why it's great having you as you know, a co-host, as well as Lorette down there giving insight on what's going on. Just such a good synergy right there of explanation for the fans and educating them. And I get, like, fans get heated. Hey, I love Chelsea, learning to love Reeder, you know, equity, all these things. That just feeds into education, information, and what's going on.
Yeah, the three of us plus Sean Adriano on the controls here for our replay system and his input as well just gave us that information, gave us the view that we needed, and I think it's important for the drivers for us to catch those things, because the fairness for them is vital in this series. You know, it's their livelihood. So we have to make sure that we catch the things that we do to make sure the drivers that should win do.
So now, while we look over, we were intended, you saw the driver cards there. We were supposed to see Essa and that driver, Ken Gucci. There's Chelsea Denofa. So Rome Charpentier is out on track with his sight lap. There we are in the pits with Chelsea Denofa. Don't know if we've gotten word on a protest, but there's Chelsea, most recently losing to Travis Reeder unanimously after, again, that contact, the handbrake. So you can see, hearing some things.
I'm not going to argue that. I wasn't watching it. It is what it is. It just sucks when someone checks up in front of you the same way multiple times, but you're good enough to not hit them. And then you get hit for doing the same thing they fucking did, and you get blamed for it. Like, you know, I get that this whole situation is crap as fuck. We should have just ran tomorrow and protested for not driving. But, like, it's pretty fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, we can tell and see the frustration and not happy about the call. Can hear some language and some dialogue here, and you know, it just comes down to you know, everybody wants to win in less than ideal conditions to track the weather. So this is what we're looking at. Frederick Osbo, Odi Bakshish, they are in the Grade A, as is Adam LZ, the other Mustang RTR Spec 5, going against now Travis Reeder. So Essa and Gushi, Ken Gushi calling his competition time out. 5-minute allotment. We'll see if he can get his car back up to line to go against the former champ of Essa. Next up, we should be seeing Rome Charpentier, however you want to pronounce it. I've been told by him, Charpentier, and his dad, FYI, Ryan Lontain.
Somebody up here said Charpentier, and I went, oh, thank you for saying it the
I
right
know
way.
you did. No, they don't need to know that.
Jared's mad at me right now.
Well,
I'm not saying you're saying it wrong, Jared. It's okay.
Get your hands off me. Don't touch me. Rome.
I told you I'm going to get beat later. I told you.
You shut your mouth. Rome CP. No, don't shut your mouth. You're a co-host. You're supposed to announce. Rome CP and Jeff Jones. Double J. Let's see what we got here for RCP and Jeff Jones. The garagistic BMW who qualified 7th, Jeff Jones qualifying 10th. Should be a good battle. Hopefully they've been watching the show unfold.
Yes.
That bank, she's a son of a gun. So here we go. Run one of this battle, Rome versus Jeff Jones. See what Rome's got. The Type S lights are on. Type S, the official lighting of Formula Drift. We are in the royal purple top 16. There they are, taking that mid-line, so I think that's a proper line. You see them kind of working it a little, but there's kind of, you know, 3 lanes. Let's call it 3 lanes. In that mid-lane is the way you want to go. Into that second outside zone. Nice job by Rome. Again, they're not flirting with that wall, but again, that second outside zone seems to have a lot more grip and is less treacherous. Oh, Jeff Jones, little wobble, comes out of drift. Place is still packed. It's a beautiful evening. All right. All right. Power is all black. That is red and black. All right. Shout out to Becky Evans, Papa Dean, Mom and Dad watching from Ireland. Shout out James Dean, I know he's watching as well. So
all right, let's check
all
out
the Dean family in Ireland, they're watching.
Let's check out this replay, Jared, as Rome gets the car to angle really nicely there at initiation. Look who's right there with him, Jeff Jones. Nice and close, running the beautiful line right behind him there. Great mimic on the transition right here. Although Jeff does miss inside clip number 1. Quite a bit more than Rome did. He was kind of nose to tail with him there, but outside zone 2, look where Jeff Jones is, right there. A little bobble from Jeff going by inside clip number 2, but awesome job by Jeff Jones of really mimicking well the line, the angle. The transition was done well. He just positioned himself wrong in inside clip 1 after the transition, but got right back on Rome's door through zone 2. Rome, for his part, was kind of running the highest line that people are comfortable running now. So we're going to see what Jeff Jones does now. Of course, everything's comparative, and we want to see how well Jeff is able to get around. We've seen drivers going into outside zone 2 deeper than Rome did. So is Jeff going to go deeper into zone 2? That's a big area of opportunity for him right now. I don't think he's going to risk going high on 1, but hopefully he goes deeper in 2.
And here we go with the second half of this battle. Man, Rome needs to get involved. Jeff Jones now coming into that inside clip. Look at that, nice job by Jones. See how they handle that second outside zone. Oh, Rome very shallow, but look at Jones digging deep. Here's a shovel. Can he dig it? Yes, he can. Past that second inside clip. Jeff Jones crushing it on his lead run. That Evil Auto Works, NRG Innovations, Nissan 370Z, well done.
Jeff
Take a
Jones
look at it again.
Putting on a heck of a show right now. Did a great job in the chase position, really mimicking the line very, very well. Great proximity. Now we're looking at his lead. He's still running that same line that everybody's running, the highest line that everybody's comfortable running. Rome, on the other hand, is far back and much lower in outside zone 1. Go to outside zone 2. Jeff gets into the zone. As I was saying earlier, he gets right on the wall, and you can see in the chase position, Rome is not positioned in the right spot. He's really low. Lost a bit of angle there before outside zone 3, and I think that this is easily going to go towards Jeff.
Yeah, I mean, Rome gained a lot of fans in New Jersey, but I'll tell you what, Jeff Jones, he's going to sleep in his own bed. He's right here in Southern California. Rome, he's not too far down the road either, but Jeff Jones gets the win, baby. Jeff Jones moves on at Evil Auto Works, NRG, QT Radial, Nissan 370Z, Rome Charpentier. We will see Rome in April, streets of Long Beach. Who's coming out to Long Beach, Irwindale? Who's going to see it by round 1? Oh, all of you. That's how it's going to go down. That's how it's going to go down. So we're going to see every one of you out there. All right, so we are hearing that, unfortunately, that Toyota GR86 of Ken Gushi is not making it to the line. He called his competition timeout, hugs all around, but unfortunately, Ken Gushi, that's a wrap. The Mahdi's Threes Racing, number 21, the OG, Kenshiro Gushi, not able to make it to the line. That very unique V6 turbocharged Toyota GR86, unable to make it. That means the former champ Michael Essa will advance on. He's had some kind of gremlins of his own, initiating yesterday in his first qualifying run. Boom, just shut her down. No boost at all. So had to kind of recalibrate, reset it, and got in, and here he is now, moving on into the grade 8. He's going to be going against Jeff Jones. Hopefully he's remedied the issue, but that is to be decided. There's Frederick Osbo, Papadakis Racing. There is Frederick Osbo, Stefan Papadakis, that team, and this is the moment right here. Frederick Osbo on his lead run. Now this is a big deciding factor here, where the last outside zone, Kyle Mohan in the chase position, chasing him down, just gets too aggressive, taking himself out of the scenario. Frederick Osbo talked about the grip levels, how much they changed. He's the first battle. Mohan, bingo, bongo. The wheel flies off, actually the barrel of the wheel, and there it is with Adam LZ crossing that start line. Hugs for the Toyota GR teammates, both Rockstar pilots, both on Nitto tires, and Frederick Osbo is officially your 2022 Formula Drift Championship winner, and with that, back-to-back and 3-time champion. There it is, added once again. You can see back in 2015, 21, and now 22. Osbo, 3-time champion, back-to-back. And now your 2022 Formula Drift champion. Congratulations. Again, he joins the other 2 pilots that are James the Machine Dean, who's watching from Ireland, and Chris the Force Forsberg, the 3-time clubs. And also 2004, that was Samuel Hubinet on the inaugural year that ended right here at this track. Samuel Hubinet piloting that Dodge Viper back in the day. See those other notable names, Reese Millen, Tanner Faust, Dai Yoshihara, Michael Essa, Vaughn Gittin Jr., Frederick Osbo. Once again, talking to Justin Pollock, JTP there. So, looks like, again, Essa will have a bye run. Taking a look at the track, what's going down. All right, when we come back, we'll see Michael Essa with his bye run and 2 more battles in a Royal Purple Top 16. Don't go anywhere. This has proven to be one heck of a finale. This is the Type S title fight. Well, the title has been crowned, Frederick Osbo, but a winner needs to be announced, and they're gonna earn it with these crazy conditions at the House of Drift. I'm Jared Deanna, Ryan Montaigne. More action when we return to the House of Drift.
The first time you try Pedal Commander, you'll feel made in Japan. Breed.
I'm Ryan Turk, and I'm super proud to announce Rain-X's all-new wiper blade design, the Turkin SUV Heavy Duty Series.
Whoa, whoa, cut! Ryan, what? It's the Truckin' SUV blade. It says it right there.
These new blades are specifically designed for truck and SUV windshields. They're tougher and built for rugged weather. Like I said, the all-new Rain-X truck and SUV blade, engineered not to be turked in tough conditions and built for your truck or SUV. Get a pair today, only at AutoZone. I mean, I still like the idea of a Turkin SUV blade.
Your future in high-performance motorsports begins at the University of Northwestern Ohio.
There is no other school like UNOH to teach you the things, not only for Monster Jam, but for the hot rod community.
With 70% hands-on learning, no out-of-state tuition, and top-of-the-line instructors, you'll go from learning to earning with the industry leader in motorsports education.
I love waking up to come to school.
This facility here has all the tools and instructors and knowledge that you need to go out and be successful in the field.
Your journey to the fast lane begins at UNOH.
All right, so Michael Essa, Ken Gushi, but unfortunately Ken Gushi is unable to pull a line as we elaborated earlier. So Michael Essa with his bye run, FCP Euro, Liqui Moly, Bilstein, BMW. Michael Essa will advance on to the grade 8. He's going against Jeff Jones. He goes against Jeff Jones in the 8. Let's lay out and listen to the former champ, Michael Essa, rip on this track. Let's see what kind of line he takes. Don't crash, Essa. You saw previously what happened, so see that middle line? Look at how it's gripping up, it's diving down. Lay out, listen. And there it is. Michael Essa will advance on with that bye run. Seeing him warm up in that burnout box, our next pair, that is Sorensen and Olsen. Battle of the Sins. Brandon, Simon, Sorensen, Olsen. the Battle of the Inns.
I can see the Jared D and idioms, idioms, whatever.
Battle of the Inns, Jared D idioms. Love. No, what happened?
It's close.
All right, Brandon Sorensen out on his sight lap. So, the U.S. Air Force BMW from Las Vegas.
Oh, okay. A little tire cooling
Yeah,
there, Jared.
so yeah, we've seen that being utilized before. If you got to cool them down, it's like horseshoes. You know, like when the blacksmith and they. Psst.
Yeah, cool
Yeah,
them off.
Yeah. So, horseshoes, horsepower. You know, just quickly cool the tires, so tire attrition. Simon Olsen, Boost Race Fuel. It's good to see him in the mix here, top 16. And there is Simon Olsen going through the course. And I know Simon, you know, he sometimes gets a little nervous and kind of tempers. And Simon Olsen is calling a competition timeout. So again, another NGK competition timeout. Simon Olsen calling it. Speaking of the NGK competition timeout, NGK makes ignition coils. Why? Because we prefer a running partner that can keep pace. We know ignition, and since our spark plugs don't run alone, we put some of our own energy and expertise into making a better coil. NGK ignition coils are engineered to OE durability and performance. And because we race to win, we continue to improve the design, testing, and validation of our ignition coils to make installation easier and performance better. NGK spark plugs and coils, better together. NGK. So the NGK competition timeout being utilized by Simon Olsen. 5 minutes, one and done. Don't know exactly what caused him to come to a halt. Okay, so what's at stake here? Well, guess what? Alec Robbins next up. Alec Robbins and Ryan Turk will be our pair since Simon Olsen. So basically, if Ryan Turk advances, if Ryan Turk beats Alec Robbins, Ryan Turk will slide into the 3rd place overall position, taking out Denofa, knocking him down to 4th. So again, we did the math here. And again, Ryan Turk going against Alec Robbins. Robbins in that Facetto Nissan 350Z, Ryan Turk in that Rain-X Toyota GR Corolla. Here are our sight laps. While these gentlemen are throwing down, let's have some words with Matt Field.
Hey, Jared, thank you very much. Obviously, this is a really challenging part of Matt Field's job, and I wanted to get a few final words with you from the 2022 season, and you handled this with a lot of dedication. And I'm so sorry for how this ended up. Is there anything you'd like to say?
The main thing is I just want to thank my boys, my team. They are the best in the biz, hands down. And just how they handled this season and the support that they had throughout the season, that gave me the energy to keep going. That gave me the energy to keep fighting. And when we're out here playing a game of inches on that razor's edge, today it bit me. Yesterday it didn't. Last event it did. Last event before that it didn't. So it's one of those things. I want to really thank my partners, everyone who stands behind me. I mean, you guys are the reason why I'm able to do this. So thank you guys. Thank you, Falcon Tire. You guys have had my back since day one. Borla Exhaust, Heatwave, you guys are the real champs. Lucas Oil, you guys know it. But at the end of the day, I hate to say this because it's like the biggest cliche. We'll come back stronger, but you know what? Like, we will, absolutely. We'll be in the fight. But now it's time to take a step back, enjoy a beer, thank the team, load this giant freaking circus back into this box that has my entire life in it, and watch the rest of the event. Congrats, Freddie, and good luck to the rest of the boys tonight.
Matt, thank you very much. And a little bit of clarification, was it a slippery track? Was it the marbles? What was it?
So on my sighting lap, I threw it up pretty high, and I was like, ooh, this is great. But I also was trying to conserve tires because we can't change tires after a sight lap, and it's just dry enough that we're burning off a set. So I stopped drifting right before the middle of the bank, and when I threw it up, my whole team told me, throw it up mid-high. I threw it up mid-high, and then it just washed up right in the middle of the bank, kind of where I didn't get the sight lap. So it's probably the most slippery this far from the wall, and I was this far from the wall, and then I was this far from the wall, and then I crashed.
Matt, the team is so proud of you, and your dad told me that you have really focused the last 2 years, and he couldn't be more proud of you. So we will be looking for big things from you next year. Matt, thank you very much. Guys, get loud for Matt Field.
Well said, thank you, Lorette, and great perspective there from Matt Field himself, talking about it. Great grace and good candor. I think that was like, you know, like you said, it's not cliche. That's where his mind's at, and I think that's a great, you know, mature Matt Field, which I'd love to see him grow up. And guess what? There's many more miles, many more tires to burn. So Matt Field gets second place overall in the championship, but right now the fight is for third. Ryan Turk, if he advances on beyond Alec Robbins, he jumps up to that third overall spot, but Alec Robbins, that Facetto Nissan 350Z, does a great job. Here's that Rain-X Toyota GR Corolla. Oh, Robbins gets into it, and that's where it's slick. That is getting super sketchy. Alec Robbins transitions, transfers in that second outside zone. Oh, it looks like he comes out of drift. Woo. Okay, whoa. Sketchball 5000. I gotta tell you that. Let's back it up. Let's back it up here, okay? Everybody chill. Everybody relax. You know, how's the Fonz? Be cool. Be cool. All right, let's back that up. That got sketchy towards that. Let's walk through this. On that big bank, Alex started flirting with the marbles.
Yeah.
Walk us through it.
This is one, he's right on the white line, and he goes up all the way into Slipperyville, hits the wall, but manages to keep it in drift, does a little bit of a correction. Right here, over-rotates, and then right there, he straightens, gives up. So Turk's like, okay, the run's over, I'm gonna go have some fun. And then they almost got into each other as Alec didn't want to give up what he was doing, despite having it completed. So it was just a little miscommunication there between both drivers, but Alec will have an incomplete for the straightening going into outside zone number 2. So look, right here, this is the right line to be running at the moment, but then Alec just gets up into the slippery conditions above the white dotted line, gets into the wall, and right here, this is the error. Big rotation, straightens up right there, and then Turk just continues drifting, stays on throttle. The fact that Turk dropped a tire or two there is of no consequence whatsoever. The run ended as soon as Robbins straightened in front of him in outside zone 2. So that'll be an incomplete for Robbins in the lead. Turk now needs to lay down a solid lead just to get himself the win. For sure.
Yeah, this is that got a little sketchy again. There's, is that an incomplete? That is not dictated till later. There's no contact. It's basically mistakes were made. Where that's at, TBD. As Ryan Turk's ready to throw down, shout out to the DeAnda kids, Ava Dash, Parker, Davis. Shout out to Brooke and Malia. Shout out to my wife, T-Bone Tyson. I'll see you later. And again, thank you so much for all the fans for tuning in. Steph, love you. See you soon. Nicole, Jason, everybody. Here we go. Ryan Turk ready to throw down that Rain-X truck and SUV Toyota GR Corolla on Nitto tires. The Rockstar pilot will lead, and if he wins, he jumps into third place overall, pushing Chelsea Denova down to 4. Alec Robinson shimming there in that chase position, that Facetto Nissan 350Z from Becker, Minnesota. Now coming off that bank, taking that midline, didn't get high, didn't get sketchy, as you called it, Slipperyville. Down that second outside zone, that's exactly where he needs to be. The Type S lights are on, lighting up the back end, the silver bullet. Now past that second inside zone, and now that final outside zone. Again, it bears repeating. Ryan Turk, if he beats Alec Robbins and the outcome goes the way of Turk, he will finish 3rd place overall, and you'll have two Rockstar Energy pilots on Nitto tires and in the overall Manufacturers Championship Cup. Ryan Turk, again, if he gets the win, slide him right for Ryan Turk. He'll be 3rd place overall in the championship. That means 2 Toyotas, 2 Rockstar, 2 Nitto pilots. And there it is. Ryan Turk gets the win, advancing on beyond Alec Robbins. And there are your 2 pilots, 1st and 3rd, bookending Matt Field in the middle with Toyota, Rockstar, Nitto tire pilots, 1st and 3rd overall in the championship. So Turk advances on. And we are finding out that Simon Olsen is not able to fix his vehicle. This will be a bye for Brandon Sorensen. So Brandon Sorensen in that U.S. Air Force BMW. That'll be a bye run for him. He'll go against Ryan Turk. 7 rounds, 7 different winners. Odie, LZ, Essa, Jones, Sorensen, none of them have podiums, but 3 of the remaining 8 drivers, 3 of the remaining 8 have won rounds of competition. There we are looking at the most recent winner, Ryan Turk. As I said, 1st and 3rd, congratulations to those Controlled Chaos pilots. Following their season, ups and downs and all arounds. Ryan Turk is now 3rd place overall in the championship. You could see, and there it is. So, what a season it's been. Again, you see, you know, Turk, Osbo, Hughes, Reeder, Taguchi, and Denofa and Gucci. So yeah. All right. So as on track, what just transpired is Brandon Sorensen took his bye run. He advances on. He took his bye run. Sorensen moves on. Guess what? A man who slides into 3rd, Lorette, does he know? Lorette, does he know that he's 3rd place overall? Again, Toyota, Rockstar, Nitto. Does Turk know that he's 3rd overall? Lorette.
Jared, I just wanted to confirm that with Ryan, that's official?
Yes, it is. It is official.
Yes, sir. You are now 3rd place officially. Ryan Turk, congratulations. You've been working so hard, and the emotions right now is so challenging. What are you processing?
Yeah, you know, that's a little bit of a weight off our shoulders. We want to go out here tonight and win, but man, you know, after having such a roller coaster season with some crashes and getting crashed and yada yada yada, it's 3rd was our benchmark for this year to finish, and I'm glad we got to accomplish that. The boys have been working so hard this year, and I feel like I've done some of the best driving I have in my career this season. And I've had the absolute best setup car this entire year by my team, and so a lot of great positives to pull from this year, even though we didn't get that championship. So everything going into next year is going to be awesome.
Yeah, and so how do you refocus for next year?
First, let's get through this event.
Yeah.
Hopefully, sip some champagne, and then you know, we always got a game plan. You're constantly talking throughout the course of the season, like what's working, what isn't working, what can we make better, and how big those changes are, and a lot of those are going to come during the off season. So yeah, I'm excited.
Okay. Heck yeah, Ryan Turk, he moves into 3rd place in the championship.
And there is how the grade 8 bracket shapes up. Having some words, Lorette, and wrapping out with Ryan Turk, 3rd place. He says, hey, still continue to party, might get 3rd place, but he wants to party on the box. Osbo against Bakshi's. LZ is in the building going against Reeder. Essa versus Jones, Sorensen, and Turk. Again, we've seen a different winner at each round, but Osbo's won, Reeder's won, Turk has won. The other 5 drivers have not. So again, taking a look at that. When we come back, we will see our first battle of our Link ECU Grade 8. Link ECU, the official engine management unit of Formula Drift.
Performance starts with each individual person and what they want to accomplish with their vehicle. I spend a lot of time working on my vehicles. It's my peace and quiet. I started using K&N parts when I got my first car, and they've always worked really well for me. Obviously, performance parts should increase your horsepower, but you don't want to lose your reliability either. So performance has to be all the way around.
The first time you try Pedal Commander, you'll feel oh yeah.
Welcome to round 5 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship. We call this the Crossroads. Matt Field, the guy to beat, but right behind him, Frederick Oswald, Chris Forsberg, and then Ryan Turk sits in 4th.
It's go time. Let's do this.
These cars these days, they're so insane to drive.
Oh!
It's really difficult. You're kind of on the knife edge all the time.
Man, what a crazy event.
We got 20 seconds to shine. We can't make any mistakes. If you do, you're out.
Oh, we got contact. Oh boy.
Priority right now is keeping everything together.
At Royal Purple, we develop synthetic lubricants that outperform on reliability, performance, efficiency, and sustainability. From the racetrack to the cul-de-sac, from on the clock to the ship dock. For the highest performance now and protection for the future. No matter what drives you, Royal Purple.
Formula Drift is brought to you by BC Racing, the official suspension of Formula Drift. Go for gold. Royal Purple, the official engine oil of Formula Drift, the synthetic expert. Rockstar, the official energy drink of Formula Drift. Doing welcome back to the House of Drift. Some people are cozy on their couch at 50/50 Myrtle, and some people are here in the building. Some people are across the globe. James the Machine Dean, he's watching. He's cheering on. Christoph's Blues in the building. Dimitri Brutsky, he's in the building. Mark Landerville, we have plenty of drivers. So cool to see all y'all just hanging out. And, oh man, look at this. Even Russo's watching right now. So shout out to Russo. And look at that. Christmas decorations, they're already up. Look at that. Like at your local retail store, right? So they're even up here at Irwindale. All right, here's where we're at, the Link Engine Management Grade 8. The track is constantly evolving. We got wet spots, we got dry spots, we got the hot spot. That is Irwindale. Here we are, the Grade 8, and there's how it has whittled down. Our champion, three-time, and back-to-back Formula Drift champion, pilot of that Rockstar Energy Drink Toyota GR Supra. Frederick Osbo's going against Odi Bakshi's. You know, Odi would love to get a win. He's done it here before. He could get the win, and that would just really kind of give him great momentum. He's not in the hunt for, you know, a top 5 finish, but he'd love to do it. Adam LZ, he's going against Travis Reeder. Then you got a former champ, Essa versus Jones. Brandon Sorensen from Las Vegas is going against Ryan Turk, who finished 3rd overall. Here we go, Osbo versus Bakshis. All right, so looks like Osbo on the start line. We are going to be seeing some sight laps here. All right, sight lap there from our 3-time and defending FD champion. All right, Frederick Osbo. Next up, Odi Bakshis will take his sight lap. He's on that start line. So as the track is drying out, let's see what happens here with Odi Bakshis. We'll see if it's slicker, grippier. You can see Odi diving in, kind of flirting with that top portion of the track.
So now the question is, who's going to take the risk and go high? Because then the next driver has to go high.
Yeah.
Who's leading right now? Osbo's leading. So
Osbo leads. He talked about, hey, it's slick. He's got the championship. Leave it all. Risk it for the biscuit. Does he go for?
Yeah.
Does he go for gold? Does he? You know, he's won the championship. He won in Atlanta. He'd love to win. Just icing on the cake. Yeah, that's that. The lead. Remember how we talk about like clean air, and it's always kind of good to lead. I don't want to lead in this scenario, you know. And Travis Reeder talked about it earlier, kind of unspoken of, hey, let's just go midline, you know. And I wonder, we had some downtime there. I wonder if Odi and Osbo were cordial, were they gentlemanly, and said, hey, let's go midline. I don't know. Going off of Odi's sight lap, seemed like he kind of dipped his toe.
What's going on up here?
Dipped his toe, yeah. So here we go, our first battle of the Link Engine Management Grade 8. Our now 3-time champion, Frederick Osbo, will lead. He's your #1 qualifier. Can he make a perfect event? Wow, that'd be huge, right? #1 qualifier, locks up the championship, coming in 14 points behind our points leader. But guess what? The frenemy, Odi Bakshis, then he goes for it. He goes high on the bank. And Frederick Osbo on that Rockstar Energy Drink Toyota GR Supra on Ditto tires. He goes for it. Transitions past that inside clip. We're seeing a lot better ideal conditions. Smoke is out here, but Odi Bakshi's not backing down. Look at that. You see him lunge forward to the side of the champion. He'd love to take him down. Freddie did miss that last outside zone. But hey, guess what? You get high now, it's dry. It's drier.
Drier. There's some grip up there.
Yeah, there's some grip.
All right, looking
Let's get weird.
Osbo initiating here. Great mimic from Bakshis in the chase, but Osbo's right on the wall. Bakshis is right there, just slightly lower through the second half of that outside zone 1 as they transition to in clip 1. This is where Bakshis falls off a little bit and has to make a slight compromise on line to get proximity back. Osbo, great job through outside zone 2. Bakshis is just slightly ahead of where we'd like to see him. Pretty good overall placement there from Bakshis in the chase position. Now, Odi has to throw his initiation in the lead right up on outside zone 1 on that wall. He has to stick it to zone 1, stick it to zone 2, have that quick dynamic transition going to clip 1, and then another one going to outside zone 2. He's got to just get it right going into outside zone 2 as well. So still sort of patchy out there. It's not fully dry, but we're seeing that there's a high level of grip from the majority of the areas on the track. We don't know what the drivers are feeling behind the wheel. That's always a whole different story, if they're feeling like there's a lack of traction up there, but they're making it work, you know. So let's see what happens here as Odi Bakshis takes the lead.
Yeah, and Odi seemed a little more, you know, risky going up there, and like we said, dipping that back right toe, dipping that back right falcon. Here we go. Odi Bakshis will lead. Frederick Osbo giving chase. Odi, you can still see he's keeping a safe distance. He's kind of got that cushion right there. And you can see all the marbles actually accumulating. They're not flirting with the marbles. All right, now here goes Odi in that second outside zone. Frederick Osbo, he's kind of backing off here. He's letting Odi go for it. Odi with massive angle. Look at how settled that car is. And he gets out to that final outside zone. Fireworks go off. He lights them up. Tell you what, that was really well done by Odi Bakshis.
All right, so we have Odi Bakshis leading here, throwing the car into outside zone 1. Like you said, Jared, not quite as high as Osbo was on his lead, so he's got maybe a couple of feet between him and the wall, whereas Osbo maybe had 6 inches to a foot. Transition there was a bit of a hesitation on the transition going to outside zone 2 from Odi in the lead, but in the chase position, I'm not sure that Osbo is as close as Odi was through the entirety of outside zone 2, and his line is a little bit lower potentially than Odi's was. Odi was on a slightly lower line in his chase, but maybe Osbo was a little bit further forward. So we're gonna do a little BC Racing side-by-side. Is that true? I love these side-by-sides. Here we go. This is a nice opportunity to see everything all at the same time. You can really see the difference in line from Osbo to Bakshis there in the lead. Osbo is closer in the chase on outside zone 1. You can see Odi had some bobbles in the chase, and so did Osbo, but Osbo was closer than Odi was. Right here, you can see that Odi is doing a better job in the chase right there through outside zone 2. You can see Osbo was a little bit further back and a little bit lower on line through that outside zone 2 area. So they've sort of traded off. Benefits and disadvantages, let's say, throughout the entirety of both of those runs.
All right, so let's see the outcome here. Who do we have? Who is moving on? Is it Osbo or Odi? The 3-time champion waits. Odi Bakshis has not seen a victory this year. 7 rounds, 7 different winners. Odi would love to take down the champion. And it looks like our 3 judges are submitting it. We'll see if Jerry agrees with it at home. And here we go, the Link Engine Management. Grade 8, slide him left for Osbo, right for Odi. 1 for Odi, 1 for Osbo, and Osbo gets the win. Frederick Osbo, champion, winner in Atlanta. #1 qualifier, moves on to the Final 4. He is guaranteed a podium being #1 qualifier because 3rd place is dictated by qualifying position. You can't be any better than #1. What would be even better is if Osbo made it a perfect event. Next up, Adam LZ versus Travis Reeder. Adam LZ on his sight lap. Adam LZ taking a look at this course. It's drying out a little bit, but I'll just say it. We might have some impending weather coming our way. Travis Reeder, who has seen some battle damage there. You can see he's got the night shades on, the amber lenses, and the quick little cooling of the Nitto tires. Travis Reeder, Link Engine Management, Reeder Motorsports, BMW, he runs the LS. And of course the Ford Power, Ford Performance, Mustang RTR Spec 5. And it's great to see Adam LZ progress, you know, just throughout the season, and here he is now in the Grade 8. And here we go. Here we go. Travis Reeder will lead. Adam LZ giving chase. Reeder already took his sight lap, getting a feel for the course. A lot of eyeballs on Adam LZ. And of course, Travis Reeder, winner in New Jersey. Let's see what Reeder's got for us. What's Adam LZ gonna do? Reeder taking out the other Mustang RTR. Can it be the Mustang RTR killer? Sweep the leg. Travis Reeder comes into that first outside zone. Oh boy, Adam LZ lunges to the side of him. He drops down, drops up, comes all around, but Reeder stays high on that bank. Now past that inside clip, transitioning now into the second outside zone. LZ, dragon bumper, Reeder straightens out. I don't know if there was contact, if LZ hit Reeder or Reeder just straightened out independently. Missing that back. Let's get different angles here.
It looked like he hit the wall in outside zone 2.
Just sucked him up.
And it caused him to straighten. After that, he kept it off the wall though, overall. He didn't end up in the wall totally, which could have happened, but he managed to salvage it. So let's look at outside zone 1 to begin with, of course, but what's important here is the way Adam LZ gets right up on Reeder's door. As they come through inside clip number 1, nice transition there. Reeder, you can see, wasn't really transitioning the car very aggressively, and it looked like he was holding off because he knew he was going in a little bit deep in outside zone 2. And
yeah, they're both pushing. It seemed like it was independent. No, it didn't look like they had contact, so it looked independent that, you know, LZ hits first.
Yeah.
I don't think LZ hit. Let's go to the other side. There's just that one other angle. We're gonna get that one angle where it just shows like that top. Yeah. LZ going in.
Yeah, we're trying to see here on our little replay if LZ hit Reeder before Reeder hit the wall. It looked like Reeder was checking up there. It looked like he was trying to avoid going in too deep, but you never know if there was contact potentially going into that area of outside zone 2. Of course, it looks like LZ did get just a slight, tap in the wall there just before Reeder hit the wall himself. But the question is whether or not there was contact between LZ and Reeder before Reeder went into the wall himself. So let's watch this replay again. LZ got real close to Reeder right there. And this is where LZ is going to drop down right there. He does stay in drift, very low angle right there, but gets back on it, gets back online. Pretty good job there of recovering. Transition here for inside clip 1, and look at Reeder's transition. Not a lot of angle, and you can see he's off throttle there, and then makes contact with the wall. Keeps the car off the wall overall, though. That could have been way worse. He could have had that front end slap in and broken some suspension pieces in the front, but it didn't happen. He kept it off the wall. So we're just having a quick review here of outside zone 2 real quick, just to see what occurred.
All right, so just the analyzation from our judges. All right, just analyzing, breaking it down. The judges have multiple different angles that they are looking at. We can only give you kind of one view and then by singular, and we could obviously do the BC Racing side by side, but just taking a look, slowing it down, breaking it down, and that's what our judges are looking at, seeing where contact was made, who was at fault, what's going on, chain reaction. Every action has a reaction. So, contact potentially not only just on outside zone 2, but also on outside bank 1. All right, so we are overlooking Travis Reeder and all right, so still analyzing what's going down here. So Reeder and LZ, Reeder qualified 5th, Adam LZ qualified 13th. That's the first portion of this battle. Okay. I don't know, like, yeah, the big thing here is, again, just did LZ bump Reeder into the wall? Yeah, it's so what's, again, this all right, so here it is. So this second outside zone, was there contact? It does look like the car gets up a little bit. All right, so as LZ, and still, and so just that, so Travis Reeder, that's again that replay. It came to a halt, analyzing it. So fault needs to be determined here. Did LZ get into the side of Dylan? Also, you know, hey, there's scenario, you know, did Reeder slow down? Is there contact there? But right now, I do know that Michael Essa and Jeff Jones taking their sight laps. We are still continuing on with sight laps. And there is a decel zone there right prior, just right before, but going into the wall. Okay, and again, and it looks like, so they are saying that Travis Reeder, it looks like there is a slight contact. Is that what you're saying, Ryan? So you are saying unanimous that LZ, there was contact. So what all that determines now is, so you deem fault, so is it his fault that he went into the wall and straightened out?
It would be the fault of LZ because he pushed him into the wall.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's a decel zone there right before outside zone 3. There's a white line that crosses the track, and that's sort of the middle of the decel zone that's there. And Reeder was decelling there. You could see the light come on. He was indeed slowing, and it looked like LZ was coming on a little bit too hot. He poured on more angle than Reeder had in the lead, and that sort of looks like he was trying to slow himself down because he was coming in too fast. Made contact with Reeder. Reeder then made contact with the wall because he was bumped into the wall. So that's why, and you can see where there's a little bit of damage on the front of his car. And of course, they are repairing some suspension parts there from the hit. So we're going to move on to the next battle while they repair their cars.
Yep, so again, what that determines is Adam LZ has 5 minutes. He utilizes his competition timeout. Travis Reeder does not need to utilize his competition timeout, and he is given 10 minutes. But because of Adam LZ was at fault and punched him into the wall. So let's go back, or let's advance on. We will go back. This is Michael Essa and Jeff Jones here in the grade 8. Neither of these guys. Love to see Jeff Jones on the podium. And here we go. Jeff Jones out front, that Evil Auto Works, Nissan 370Z. Michael Essa, the FCP Euro, Liquid Moly, BMW. Look at Jeff Jones' angle. He is absolutely going for it. Into that second outside zone. Here goes Jones. You can see Michael Essa chasing him down. Look at that shimming. Just kind of get it in there. Needs to mimic the angle. Definitely has the proximity. But Jones possessed. It is Evil Auto Works, right? So the Nissan 370Z of Jones out front with some strength. Looking good.
Great run from Jeff Jones in the lead. Jeff Jones has been putting together some really great runs today.
Yep.
And he's continuing that trend right now. You can see that Essa in the chase wasn't really positioning his car very well in outside zone 1. A lot of movement in the car as well. So let's see here as they initiate. It looked like Essa had kind of a slow rotation initiation as well. In the lead, you can see Jeff Jones up high on outside zone 1, but in the chase, Essa's having a problem, it seems like, keeping the car at angle. Potentially his car's a little bit faster than Jeff Jones's car, and you can see the same thing through outside zone 2 where he's close but his angle is lacking. Same thing through outside zone 3 there. So Essa's staying close but making compromises on the angle and the line as well in some areas.
Let's alternate the order here as now Essa will be out front, Jeff Jones in the chase position. Who's moving on to the final 4? Essa barely making it in, qualifying 31st. He had to go to the second knockout qualifying. Jeff Jones qualifying 10th. He's got some serious momentum, but he's chasing down a former champ. And Michael Essa looks like he's finally found out where those gremlins are. He initiates. Jones needs to be higher. Look at Essa dragging bumper on the wall. Now going past that inside clip. Both of them are on it. Good transition right there. So, Essa straightens out Jeff Jones. That's a wrap. Jones is going to move on. Essa makes a major mistake. Jeff Jones moves on to the final 4. Your local boy from right here in the 818. Jeff Jones will move on. Let's slide him left for Essa, but you know the outcome. Jeff Jones will get the win. Jeff Jones, Evo Auto Works, advances on. He's going to the final 4. There's Adam LZ jumping into, like you see, all hands on high fives and handshakes for the LZ crew and that RTR AutoZone team. Attaboy. Rutledge Wood watching from home, watching from Peachtree City, Georgia. Shout out to Rut. How we doing, homeboy? The floor is lava because these guys are setting ablaze with their tires. And we are, all right. So we are going on to Sorensen and Ryan Turk. So we still need Travis Reeder. All right, sight lap with Sorensen and Turk. All right, Sorensen. All right, so Brandon Sorensen, this is him taking his sight lap, getting a feel for the course in these conditions. Forecast is saying we might potentially see some rain here in a little bit, so FYI, batten down the hatches for the drivers and the fans. So you're going to need to bring your A game. Brandon Sorensen, that Air Force BMW, going against Ryan Turk. Sorensen's going to jump back up to the start line. And Ryan Turk says, nah, not going to take a sight lap. Let's go for it. Just rip that Band-Aid off and lick the stamp and send it. Brandon Sorensen, 18 years young from Las Vegas, whipping that United States Air Force BMW. Ryan Turk finishes 3rd place overall in the Formula Drift Championship for the 2022 season. This new livery for him, the Rain-X truck and SUV Silver Bullet livery. Brandon now turning 18 this year. Ryan Turk, Derry, New Hampshire. Shannon and his wife Roman watching from New Hampshire, cheering him on. Here we go, ready to send cars. Brandon Sorensen will lead. He qualified 3rd overall. Ryan Turk qualifying 11th. So Brandon Sorensen with the clean air. Is he going for the high line? Is he going for the kind of lower, grippier line? We'll find out. Ryan Turk, he saw the wet earlier. See what he's got. Brandon Sorensen initiates. Ryan Turk right there. A little bit lower, but Brandon Sorensen potentially dragging bumper. He says this is his favorite track, and it's proven to be his favorite right now, going against Ryan Turk, a veteran of the sport. Brandon Sorensen, a massive angle, filling all that second outside zone. Brandon Sorensen tight on that second inside clip and bringing it across the finish line. Well done by Brandon Sorensen, going against the vet. We got a packed house here. Stomp your feet, Irwin Dale, make some noise. Taking a look at it again here, Ryan. Anything stand out to you?
Yeah, Ryan Turk is right there with Brandon, but you can see that he's not really matching the line all the way around. He's a little bit too far forward. You want to see him back on the same line as Brandon. You know, not the front of the car, but the rear tires really should be matching. You want to get that smoke line matching the chase cars, matching the lead cars. So he's just a little bit forward. Great proximity though, good mimic throughout. Minus the line, of course, just a little bit lower than what we'd like to see.
Shout out to Reese Conklin and the Conklin family. Also, yeah, can the young gun close the deal? This United States Air Force high flying, aiming high, taking down third place overall. That would be a great feat. Again, finishing third, that would be absolutely massive for him, or excuse me, qualifying third, excuse me. Ryan Turk qualifying 11th. Here we go, Ryan Turk, Rain-X, truck and SUV, Toyota GR Corolla, the Rockstar Pilot, race service, shout him out, Brandon sheds that back bumper, and now looks like Ryan Turk in alternating positions going over the top, and now past that inside clip, coming to that second outside zone. He says, hold my Rockstar, homeboy, let me show you something. He drags bumper. Ryan Turk, a little bit wide on that second inside clip, and that final, he pulled away from Brandon. This is going to be interesting. Lead versus lead, chase versus chase.
All right, as we watch this replay, look at Ryan Turk's positioning in the lead. Not all the way up on the wall, initially in outside zone 1, but does get up there through the latter half of the zone, probably the last half of it. You can see there Brandon not really in proximity like Turk was. A little bit further back, bumps the wall right there, loses a little bit of angle. Turk touches the wall as well, but stays in drift. Turk's a little bit off of inside clip number 2, but great run from Ryan overall in the lead. In the chase, Brandon had a couple of little mistakes, did bump the wall. We have a side-by-side coming. What is it, Jared? The BC Racing side-by-side,
Yes,
right?
sir.
Here we go. Left eyeball on the left screen, right eye on the right screen. We've got Brandon leading in the left, Turk leading on the right. Brandon does get up higher on outside zone 1 sooner than Turk, but you can see Turk in proximity earlier on through outside zone 1. As they transition here through inside clip 1 to outside zone number 2, Brandon taps the wall in the chase. Turk is a little bit inside, not really matching the line there initially, but gets on it through the latter half of outside zone number 2, and then pretty tight through outside zone number 3. Turk was off of inside clip number 2. So, trading of errors back and forth, really.
Yeah, interesting turn of events there. Look at that, bashing in. Both those guys, look at those back right corners, man, just bashing those things in. And that's what it's taking, man. So, again, all right, so waiting for the verdicts, Brandon Sorensen, Ryan Turk, the Air Force BMW, and the survey says slide him left for Sorensen, left for Sorensen, right for Ryan Turk. One more time, Brandon Sorensen gets 1 vote, but it's going one more time. One more time, 2-1. So they will get some fresh rubber. Look at those. Look at those hooks out back, man. Just some serious meat underneath those cars. Wow. Lightning out back. And we are, again, LZ's had a great showing here today. So keep in mind, contact, pushing Reader into the wall. All right, so Travis Reeder, Adam LZ finish out the second half of this. It's like Sorensen making his way to the pits. All right, if you can recall, Reeder, the first run of this battle between Reeder and LZ, Reeder, LZ got a little tumultuous on outside zone 1, the big bank. Then going into outside zone 2, the inner bank, we saw what looked to be like LZ hits the wall, then goes into Reeder, but actually the judges said no. LZ goes into Reeder, pushes him then into the wall. Reeder straightens out. So the judges unanimously said that LZ hit Reeder, causing the reaction. So Reeder had 10 minutes to fix his vehicle. LZ, so sitting on a bit of a deficit here. So he needs to throw down a solid lead run. Talking about Adam LZ in order to force it to it one more time, or if Reeder makes a mistake, this could lead to a victory for Adam LZ. He's got a great showing. You can see him throwing some more angle at it. Great job by Adam LZ. Now, Travis Reeder looks like he's keeping a calm composure. Look at LZ on that transition, snappy into that second outside zone. Look how settled the car is, the attitude of the car, like it's not hopping around. You're not seeing any jerkiness. Really great run there for Adam LZ out front, but is that enough because of the contact that was made in that first run?
Yeah, LZ's looking a lot more comfortable in that Mustang. Like he said himself, 8 rounds, you start to get comfortable.
Yep.
And he's looking really good in the car.
He's familiar with this track too. He loves this track.
Yeah. So as LZ initiates, you see here that he's still choosing to run the lower line early on, does work the car up there in the second half of outside zone number 1. Reeder's right there with him, transitioning to outside zone number 2 right now. LZ's not filling outside zone number 2 early on. Gets a little further out there in the second half of the zone. Coming through inside clip 2 to outside zone 3. Good job by both drivers. Reeder's right there in proximity with him.
All right, taking a look at our United States Air Force replay. LZ and Reeder. Great job by LZ. I really liked how he managed that second outside zone. Just really good angle, and you could see just how countered he was on those front wheels. And just from start to finish to that second outside zone, going into that inside clip, into that last outside zone. That's exactly what he needed to do. But unfortunately, with that contact that was deemed by the judges, again, that contact on that first run, you could see the, taking a look. It got a little tumultuous there on that bank, and now slide him left for LZ, slide him right for Reeder, and Travis Reeder gets the win. Reeder advances on. Travis Reeder gets the win. Contact was made on that first run. So Osbo and Reeder on the left side of the bracket. Our number 1, number 5 qualifier, Jeff Jones, and now Sorensen and Turk. That is our final battle of our Link Engine Management Grade 8. And a gentleman that's working hard right now going against Turk. Lorette, what's the vibes down there from Sorensen?
Hey, he's in this car. He's super calm. His mechanics working around the car because it looked like you had touched the back wall and your bumper came up a little bit. But you were just watching the live stream. What did you learn from your run?
Well, Turk is a little bit faster than we were expecting. We're going to throw maybe a little more grip at the car. I'm sure he's doing the same exact thing right now. But we're just going to try and stick it to his door a little bit more on the chase run. But I don't really see anywhere where I can improve in my lead. Felt super confident in it. And it was probably the most baller lead I've done all night. But yeah, we're just going to keep having fun and just try and stay consistent.
Love it. Where's that confidence coming from?
P3 qualifying and been driving this track a long time. So to be able to even get 3rd place here would be an amazing opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. Has there been any adjustments that you made that's inspiring that confidence?
No, not really. We kind of rolled the car off the trailer, made 5 or 6 changes, but like I said, we've been driving here a while. We got a good setup down, and yeah, we're just gonna go have some fun.
All right. Brandon Sorensen, thank you so much. Guys?
Thank you so much, Lorette. And talking about the composure, we need to get him up to the line. Ryan Turk waits. And again, we have 3 drivers in the Final Four. Frederick Osbo, Travis Reeder. Then you got Jeff Jones. We are ready to see who wins here at Irwindale. We already know that Frederick Osbo has locked up the championship back-to-back, and now 3-time champion Frederick Osbo. Ryan Turk, he's ready to roll. No sight laps from them. They're going to go straight into it. Just warm them up in that Pedal Commander burnout box and see which driver joins the other 3 here in the Final Four. Still got some awesome fans sticking around. How we doing out there, Irwindale? Make some noise. Thank you so much. You can see yourself up there on the big screen. Nice, cool evening. Still drying out a little bit. Homeboy throwing the horns. Thanks, bro. The flannel on, hat backwards. He's ready. He's committed. He says, "Put me in, coach." The man right here hyping it up. Got the heat wave slickers on. And there's Ryan Turk jumping into the burnout box. Warms up those Nitto tires. That Rain-X truck and SUV Toyota GR Corolla. All right. And it's gonna make for one heck of a Irwindale episode of Controlled Chaos as the lightning strikes. And Sorensen will lead. Brandon Sorensen qualifying 3rd. Turk qualifying 11th. Sorensen will lead here on this one more time battle. Are we going to get a winner? Who's advancing on? Here we go. Sending cars. Sorensen out front. Ryan Turk. He just saw what Sorensen is capable of, excuse me. And he's not even going to give him an inch. A big swing, a preload into the bank. Oh, and Sorensen. Looks like the track bites back. He grips up. He works his way to the top. Big angle there from Sorensen. He gets that proximity to the wall, past that inside clip, now into that second outside zone. Sorensen had this locked and loaded on the first run. You can see him pouring more angle at it. Ryan Turk with good proximity down to the outside zone. Brandon Sorensen snaps back and finishes it out. So, Brandon Sorensen taking a look at that. Let's slow it down, take a look at different angles, high in the sky.
All right, as Brandon Sorensen initiates, loses angle there at the beginning of outside zone 1. Turk is right there with him, a little bit lower on line again. Sorensen gets up into the wall. You can see the rear of his car crumple in there as he gets into the wall at the end of outside zone 1. Outside zone 2, Sorensen isn't all the way out in the zone. Turk is right there with him all the way through the zone and through the finish line. So Brandon did leave some opportunities for Ryan, who's going to go into the lead position now, get higher in outside zone 1, deeper in outside zone 2. In the chase position, Sorensen needs to put on the pressure, and the best thing he can do is get the proximity while being on the perfect line in the chase position.
All right, there we are taking a look. And now, looks like the rain is coming down. Okay, so now the rain is coming down. They finished one run and now and there it is. So yeah, you could just see how much rain is coming down. It came down. So Ryan Turk and Brandon will both take sight laps because you can just see how wet it is that quick. So this is a sight lap for both Turk and Sorensen. I'll tell you what, Ryan Turk was very aggressive earlier in 32. Both the last two final battles were in the wet conditions just like this, and Ryan Turk came in there like it was dry. So I think he's comfortable in the wet. Don't know how much wet experience Brandon Sorensen has. Surprisingly, it does rain out there in Las Vegas in the desert. Just don't know how much experience he has in conditions like this, and obviously here at Irwindale, none in the wet. All right, there's Brandon Sorensen taking his sight lap. Now keep in mind, we just saw the first, backing it in, spins out. Attention, attention, all Irwindale attendees. We are getting word that we need you to exit the grandstands and go underneath the grandstands. There is lightning strikes within 5 miles of Irwindale Speedway. Again, all Irwindale attendees, there is lightning strikes within 5 miles of the Speedway. So again, all attendees, calmly make your way underneath the grandstands. Thank you so much. We saw wet, we saw dry, we saw wet, and now we're seeing biblical rain. And this is buckets. All right, so as torrential rain dumping down, so again, all attendees, please make your way calmly underneath the bleachers. And taking a look at the radar, it seems that it travels quickly across. All right. So all the rain here, we do have people crossing the track. And again, the cameramen up in the buckets. Speaking of buckets, it's raining buckets. As you can see, Rain-X being put to work there. That's the bank. That is so wet. Yep. So they did get sight laps. You can see just the water accumulating here. And like I said, taking a look at the forecast, it looks like it comes in. It's a big cell, but the lightning, it's striking in more ways than one. Crazy. We got Osbo. We got Reed on one side. We got Jones in the Final Four. And one more, Sorensen or Turk, when we come back here to round 8, the Type S title fight presented by AutoZone, the final round of the Formula Drift Championship when we come back.
Performance starts with each individual person and what they want to accomplish with their vehicle. I spend a lot of time working on my vehicles. It's my peace and quiet. I started using K&N parts when I got my first car, and they've always worked really well for me. Obviously, performance parts should increase your horsepower, but you don't want to lose your reliability either. So performance has to be all the way around.
The first time you try Pedal Commander, you'll feel oh yeah.
Formula Drift Pro Championship. We call this the Crossroads. Matt Field, the guy to beat, but right behind him, Frederick Oswald, Chris Forsberg, and then Ryan Turk sits in fourth.
It's go time. Let's do this.
These cars these days, they're so insane to drive.
Oh!
It's really difficult. You're kind of on the knife edge all the time.
Man, what a crazy event.
We got 20 seconds to shine. We can't make any mistakes. If you do, you're out.
Oh, we got contact. Oh boy.
Priority right now is keeping everything together.
At Royal Purple, we develop synthetic lubricants that outperform on reliability, performance, efficiency, and sustainability. From the racetrack to the cul-de-sac, from on the clock to the ship dock. For the highest performance now and protection for the future. No matter what.
The scenario here is that Ryan Turk and Brandon Sorensen are completing the second run of their battle. Because of the lightning, all of the cameramen and camera equipment had to bail out. So currently right now, the scenario is that Ryan Turk and Brandon Sorensen complete their second run, and the judges are utilizing their naked eye up in the sky. So taking a look at a very, very wet track, the wettest, most puddle-filled, riddled track that we've seen today, they will finish that out to decide who moves on. This is a smaller cell. It's a small cell or a quick cell that has moved through. It dumped and is passing through and over Irwindale Speedway. So the commitment here is that we are on a 10:30 p.m. curfew, and to expedite this, local time 9:56. So we continue on with the action and choosing to utilize these locked off cameras, and our judges utilizing their naked eye have an outcome. Who moves on, Brandon Sorensen or Ryan Turk? Sliding right for Ryan Turk, and Ryan Turk with that Rain X truck and SUV, Toyota GR Corolla advances on. Brandon Sorensen knocked out. Ryan Lantain will bring him in here and elaborate. Again, very unique situations and scenarios, but cameras. So Ryan Lantain, an interesting scenario. Utilizing your naked eye, we're going back to basics, man.
Yep.
And you guys judged what happened on that second run.
Yeah, they both did a great job. Turk was high on outside zone 1. I have no idea how. We have seen
he was
drivers,
the most comfortable in the wet, even in 32. Remember that?
But the level of grip at the top of outside zone 1 is just not there. So
Right.
the fact that he was up on high on outside zone 1 is, in the wet condition, incredible. First of all, Brandon was there. He was a little bit lower. He wasn't quite as close as we'd like to see him. But they both, we all said it. We're like, wow, they both did an incredible job, considering the conditions here, considering how slippery it is, how wet it was. It was pouring. The lightning was blasting off in the background, which made for an excellent visual. But Turk did get the win there because of just his expertise. He just mastered that lead run, and yeah, beautifully done by him. So there is a protest.
So there was a protest between Adam LZ and Reeder.
Right. So LZ's team protested what we deemed LZ's fault going into outside zone 2.
Outside zone 2, you said that LZ hit Reeder, causing Reeder to go into the wall.
We believe that is still true, but what they protested was the momentum map at initiation. And while we were watching the replay, what we missed was a handbrake pull from Reeder going into outside zone 1. And we caught it very slightly on the fast drone as it floated above at initiation. And you could see Reeder's rear wheels lock up, entering outside zone 1, and that's what caused LZ to falter behind him. And he dropped down way low on outside zone 1 when that happened, and that's something that we missed. And that is something that LZ saw clearly from behind the wheel, and that is what, no, this is the wrong run. This is the second run of the battle, but that basically that fault was put on Reeder after having been given that information from the team with that protest. So we reviewed the tape there. We were focused so much on outside zone 2. We saw the error on outside zone 1, but we really put that on LZ being too close, making an error in his zone. But right here, as Reeder initiates, he grabs the handbrake right at the beginning of outside zone 1, and it's just as that's exactly where actually LZ makes the mistake. It's because of that handbrake pull. And if we go back to other battles that we've seen where somebody's pulled the handbrake on outside zone 1, we have faulted them 100% for that. So we're faulting Reeder for that handbrake pull at outside zone 1, which is not somewhere you should have a handbrake pull. It's a legitimate protest from the LZ camp, and we have reviewed it and accepted it and deemed it to be accurate.
So Adam LZ advances on. The protest has been seen, and regardless of the contact, so what you're saying is basically being thrown off there, that kind of throws off the entirety of the run.
Absolutely.
So let's backtrack. Let's go to chapter 1. There was a mistake. Chapter 1, metaphorically, that's outside zone. Going into the outside zone 2. Chapter 2, let's call it, that doesn't matter.
Yeah, the thing is, if you get thrown off so much early on like that, you're trying to catch up for the entirety of the run.
Yep.
And that is what we believe caused the LZ to be trying to catch up at outside zone 2 to make up that ground that he lost.
All right, so there it is. So Adam LZ is now in the Final Four against the champ, Frederick Osbo. So Osbo versus LZ. And look at that, a very wet Ryan Turk taking some snacks there. He is going to the Final Four. He goes against Jeff Jones. Look at that. So Osbo, number 1, he's guaranteed a podium spot. And again, Jones in the Final Four. Can he get on the box? Osbo versus LZ. They should be jumping in the burnout box in a moment. So Frederick Osbo and Adam LZ, his best result this year, piloting that RTR Ford Mustang. So again, it wasn't the contact defaulting back. The judges still believe there was contact on outside zone 2, but Jeremy, they're talking about the handbrake pull on initiation that threw them off. So again, empty bleachers. This is reminiscent of last year with the COVID competition.
Right. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, so just want to make sure everybody's safe. Again, it looks like
the lightning is incredible.
Yeah, the lightning's pretty bonkers. And I mean, my buddy Ron was texting me, says, "Dude, this is wild." I said, "Dude, this is nothing compared to Orlando." I'll tell you what.
Hey, but this for LA is very odd.
Yeah. All right, so yeah, taking a look, it looks like,
when is now?
So now's right there.
Now. There's still a lot to go.
So I don't know if there is a lot though. No,
pause it on now.
I don't know how to. There we go. Pause it and now. That's now. Looks like.
And we're there.
We're there. My location looks like. Not too much. We'll see. All right. So. As, again, taking a look, we should be seeing our first battle of the Final Four. Again, Frederick Osbo versus Adam LZ. Yeah, this is a hurricane by LA standards, they say. Okay, so crazy turn of events. Okay, so, all right, so again, if now the track is saying, if you can remove yourself from underneath the bleachers and find yourself over to the open area near the entry of outside zone 2. Outside zone 2, so you can see that that area that basically doesn't have the bleachers or metal around it. So again, find yourself, make your way through the kind of vendor village area and go over and not from underneath the bleachers. Thank you. Okay, so we are checking with the drivers. The puddle accumulation, the good thing is it's still sprinkling a little bit, but I believe it should subside in just a moment, but it's going to be consistently wet like this. But Frederick Osbo, Adam LZ will be pulling to the start line. Okay, let's get them in the Pedal Commander burnout box. They're making steam, not smoke. Here in our final four. Our final four, the Type S final four. Type S, the official lighting of Formula Drift. Mr. Zachary in the building. How we doing, Zach? It looks like Frederick Osbo jumps into that burnout box. Like I said, making steam. Let's see what you got here, boys. Less than ideal conditions. And we will see, again, a reversal of the call. Travis Reeder was initially going to go against Osbo, and now Adam LZ, his best result, regardless of the outcome of this run, his best result here in the 2022 season, his maiden voyage behind the wheel of a Mustang RTR Spec 5. All right, here is a sight lap. No. Sight lap for Frederick Osbo. So I'm going to be walking you through this. Basically you're in we're listening to the radio here. We got Frederick Osbo. He's piloting his Rockstar Energy Drink Toyota GR Supra. All joking aside, you can see we have our locked off cameras. The lightning is still close, so we cannot have our cameras be up in the baskets. So we have our locked off cameras, and we'll be utilizing those different shots. There we are seeing that start line. There's Adam LZ leaving in his AutoZone Mustang RTR Spec 5. Adam LZ initiates. He spins out on initiation, but that is his sight lap. Adam LZ, again, taking his side lap. Looks like he's putting his tires through a more heat cycle. Trying to navigate through both these guys on Nitto tires, and another spin for Adam LZ. Obviously very slick out here. So there we are, Adam LZ finishes out his sight lap, very slick. This could be a very treacherous and interesting. We saw, we were talking about Orlando and how wet and wild it was, and just we haven't seen, we did see a real wet 2019, and somebody brought it to my attention when James Dean won that championship. But this just has a different feeling. All right, we are seeing, and here we go. Looks like Adam LZ pulls up to the line. We're, of course, seeing Frederick Osbo leading. He's your #1 qualifier. I'm going to walk you through this. And here we go. There is the start line. And here comes, again, Frederick Osbo, Adam LZ. Looks like we got eyes on him. Here we go. Frederick initiates. Adam LZ in tow. Frederick Osbo pulling away. How he's finding this grip is beyond me. These guys both on Nitto tires. Frederick Osbo trying to make this a perfect event and prove to you why he's the champion in less than ideal conditions. Now coming to that second outside zone. Crawls just precariously. Oh, looks like, both of them tapping. Trying to stay in it. Again, the attitudes of the car definitely disrupted, but both of them navigating, coming to that last outside zone. Freddie and Adam LZ. And all right, so Adam LZ will now lead. Frederick Osbo will give chase. Okay, and again, let's see what we got. Adam LZ will lead. You saw him spin a couple times on his sight run. Here is run 2 of this battle. Adam LZ, his best. All right, so Adam LZ initiating into that outside zone. Look at Frederick Osbo, the Norwegian Hammer. Look at that, great. I mean, that looks like slow motion, but man, they are absolutely on it in the wet. Let's see how LZ handles this transition, the transfer. Past the inside clip, into the second outside zone. LZ takes a shallower line. That might be a smarter approach. Oh boy, that was a big hit. Looks like he oh, and LZ rotates. Even with the contact. And look at that, a crazy turn of events. Mr. Zachary in the building, thank you so much for joining us. Is that Ron back there? Mr. ATL, Ron Ball, 777 style, holding it down. So let's see, let's make it official. Osbo or LZ, this is the replay. The wet conditions, slip and slide, take it to the house. LZ looked really dialed here, but I'll tell you, Osbo had his number. But let's see what goes down. So keep in mind, Osbo's your #1 qualifier. With LZ going out, the other 2 drivers qualified 10th and 11th. And the other 2 drivers, so basically be Osbo, Jones, and Turk on the podium. Jeff Jones will get his first ever Formula Drift podium here at Irwindale. Absolutely insane. So Adam LZ with his best finish so far, looks like it has come to a halt. So again, your 3-time and defending champion advances on to the finals. Can he make it a perfect event? #1 qualifier, locks up the championship for the 3rd time, and can he get the victory here at the House of Drift? Osbo, the Norwegian Hammer, the lightning strikes, harnessing the power of lightning. Thor's hammer, Frederick Osbo advances on to the finals. Now, Rockstar Energy Drink, Toyota GR Supra on Nitto tires. Motegi Racing wheels wrapped in Nitto tires, Ineos oil, AEM intakes, and now a sight lap by Jeff Jones goes south. He gets into a tussle with the wall, and Jeff Jones of the Evo Auto Works Nissan 370Z on his sight lap spins out. Jeff Jones going for the dub, pushes a little too hard. Burns the meatloaf. So as Jeff Jones, Ryan Turk waits in the wings, and that gentleman definitely has a lot of excitement. That front left, which side did he hit? Front left, all right, so Jeff Jones will have to take a look at his vehicle. Competition timeout, he's gonna have to probably call it. That was a big hit, Jones. Man, the lightning is just looming. Oh yeah,
yeah, that front left is...
Front left, she pointed the wrong way.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's taking a left, got bad Google directions. Gotta wait. So Jeff Jones, here's a look at the sight lap. Here goes Jeff, he goes in, initiates, rip, bink, bonk. This is Dylan Hughes. That's exactly what Dylan Hughes did. He backed it, flipped it, smacked up, rubbed it down, oh no. So unfortunately for Jeff Jones still smiling on his face. But still wet out there. We'll see, now we gotta wait because Ryan Turk, there's no sense in him taking a sight lap. So Frederick Osbo is in the finals. The other side of the bracket, Jeff Jones and Ryan Turk. So Jeff Jones, who qualified 10th, Ryan Turk qualifying 11th, Frederick Osbo qualifying 1st. So mathematically, that would say that Osbo, Jones, and Turk are going to podium because Adam LZ qualified 13th. Third place is dictated by qualifying. There is no third place battle, so the highest qualifying driver of the Constellation battle automatically gets third place. They get the same point allotment, but we know that Ryan Turk is already locked and loaded with the rotiforms on the corners, Nitto tires wrapped around it. And again, on the sight lap of Jeff Jones, Ryan Turk waits. It looks like he'll wait a little longer because Jeff Jones getting towed off on bank 1. Cleanup on aisle 1 will get him off course. He'll have to assess that. I assume he's gonna call a comp timeout, and here's where it went south. Or actually, it kind of went north, up the bank. So stops, rotates, bing bong, there you go. So unfortunately, Jeff Jones getting a little too excited as the fans wait. Off in the wings, we'll get Jeff Jones off course. I'll tell you what, it's gonna be really exciting. This is very similar to what we saw with Dylan Hughes early on in top 16. On the side lap, spins, rotates, breaks some things. Okay, so we are finding out that Jeff Jones is out. So he says, nope, he's not even gonna take a stab at it. No, 5 minutes, there's not enough time. All right, so we are finding out that Jeff Jones, the scenario is we're finding out from Jeff Jones' spotter, he says, look, subframe's broken, we're out. So unfortunately, Jeff Jones, insult to injury, knocks himself out in the sight lap. Subframe's broken. If Ryan Turk makes this bye run, he goes to the finals. It is Osbo, Turk, finals. Jones gets third place as long as Turk goes through the course. That would mean Frederick Osbo is your champion. He's your #1 qualifier. And it would mean Toyota, Nitto Tire, Rockstar Energy Drink for sure 1 and 2 and 1 and 3 in the championship. The order is still to be decided. So we'll get Jeff Jones off course. I'll tell you what, the Controlled Chaos series, if you have not followed it, awesome, all thriller, no filler episodes on Rockstar Energy Drink's YouTube page. This is absolutely going to contribute to what has been a tremendous lightning striking of an event. And it's all culminated here at the House of Drift. Want you to join us kicking off the 2023 season, 20 years of the Formula Drift Championship, round 1, the streets of Long Beach. I'm going to be there. We're going to be there. The cast of characters that is the Formula Drift Championship. They'll be there. And these guys have met throughout the season, Osbo and Turk, and it looks like they're heading to the finals as long as Turk completes a lap. So, as long as Turk completes his run, here we go. Steve Mateus in the building. Congratulations to the Rockstar family. Party at the Moon Tower. And Ryan Turk waits to clear the track, and we will continue on. All right, there is Ryan Turk, the 4-on-1. What's the 4-on-1? Getting them off track. Looks like they'll make their way. And looks like he throws it into gear. They are off course. Jeff Jones exits stage left. Ryan Turk will complete one run. The good thing is the Nitto tires are ready to rip, and with the rain, they don't need to change tires. So that's always a great thing. So let's lay out and listen. Let's watch Ryan Turk and his, look at that, thumbs up for these bros. They're talking about it. They're stoked, feeling stoked. The Rain-X truck and SUV. Guess what? Rain-X, yeah. I mean, the water's just beating off that thing. That is the driest car out there, the cleanest windshield out there, courtesy of Rain-X. The Rain-X truck and SUV, diamond plate forever, diamonds in the sky, throw them up high, diamond plate on the roof and on side skirts. All right, let's see what Ryan Turk's got here for his by run. And then he'll bring it back to the start line, going against his Toyota GR teammate, Nitto Tire teammate, and Rockstar Energy Drink teammate. Yeah, we've seen 7 previous rounds, 7 different winners, but guess what? We are gonna see a repeat. One of those gentlemen. All right, so here is Ryan Turk. Here it is, Ryan Turk is taking his sight lap / by run. Jeff Jones takes his sight lap, spins out, knocks himself out, unable to fix it. Ryan Turk, this is a by run. This is a by run / it would have been a sight lap. He says, nah, I'm good, let's go for it. It's a by run. With this run, he goes back to the start line. Him and Frederick Osbo will go against each other for the finals. So here we go, Ryan Turk. And the final is set. Guess what? It is an all Toyota, all Nitto, all Rockstar final for these two gentlemen. We saw Ryan Turk get the win in Long Beach. Round 2, we saw Frederick Osbo get the win in Atlanta, the iconic track. 2004, Road Atlanta, that is where Formula Drift's birthplace, the womb of Formula Drift, kicked off in 04, and it ended here in Irwindale 3 rounds later, the 4th and final round of the 2004 season, and now this is where another champion is crowned. Frederick Osbo, Ryan Turk, the finals are set. All Toyota, all Nitto, all Rockstar, but one of them American, one of them Norwegian. One, a now 3-time champion. Ryan Turk, he finishes 3rd overall in the Formula Drift Championship. Here we are in our Type S finals. Frederick Osbo, Ryan Turk, 1st and 3rd overall. But man, the icing on the cake, the carbon fiber trophy in the hand, the silver trophy will go to Frederick Osbo, the bigger silver cup, the championship. Toyota wins the manufacturer's championship, and TBD, the overall tire championship cup. Who will it be? Man, I mean, Nitto Tire is 1 and 2 here. They're 1 and 3 overall in the championship. We'll see how it all lands and where the tires are burning up. So here we go. Ryan Turk looks like checking out the car real quick, and we'll pull up to the line and we'll get him going. So Ryan Turk, they are underneath the car inspecting, and this would be a crazy anticlimactic ending. Looks like they're buttoning up that hatch. Clock is ticking. The trunk pins are going on, and the Rain-X truck and SUV Toyota GR Corolla makes his way to the start line. No sight laps, all thriller, no filler. It's been one heck of a night. Thank you for joining us on behalf of the whole Formula Drift staff. Congratulations to a crazy 2022 season, and of course, a wild round 8 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship. The Type S title fight presented by AutoZone has delivered. Look at this, coincidentally, silver and gold. Will they live up to that? Who's gonna get the gold, metaphorically, medal? Who's gonna be the winner? Who's gonna get 2nd place? Look at that, gold and silver for the win. FTW, baby. And we go straight into the battle. There is no sight lapse. Warm up the tires, put some heat through it. Ryan, what a crazy event, man. And again, Irwindale always delivers on so many fronts, from, you know, the driving, the fans, the electricity, literally on the ground and in the sky, the lightning. You're back here grabbing popcorn. You said the fireworks earlier were pretty cool. Mother Nature saying, oh, cool, hold my Rockstar energy drink, I'll show you something.
Yeah, that was pretty wild to watch, but this has been one of the most random events.
Okay.
Doesn't it?
It's a good word.
The feeling of what's going on, and it's, you know, we've had a lot of competition timeouts, we've had a lot of cars breaking. It's the culmination of a full 8 rounds of madness in this series. It's been something else. We're about to see one of these drivers who have already won an event, so this is going to break our streak.
Yep.
This round we'll have Ryan Turk won round 1. Was it? And
yep.
Osbo round 2,
Osbo
right?
won round 2, yeah, and just all of it culminating. So here we go, sending cars. These are the finals. 3-time champion, let's send it. Here we go. Frederick Osbo, 3-time champion, back-to-back, 2015, 2021, 2022, and Ryan Turk, 3rd overall. But who's gonna win here at the House of Drift in the 2022 finale? Oh, look at that, Ryan Turk gets into it, he straightens out, he taps that wall, you can see him unwind. Oh man, Ryan Turk spins, Frederick Osbo continues on. As long as Freddie keeps it sideways and doesn't spin out, he will have a major advantage, making it a perfect event. Not only does he get the championship, #1 qualifier, but the win. He has a major advantage as long as he finishes out this run 1 of this battle. Frederick Osbo making it look good, the Norwegian Hammer. Very familiar with these wet conditions.
Yeah, that's watching Ryan Turk in the chase. You could see he was his hand-over-hand technique is phenomenal, but it just wasn't quite quick enough there. You wonder how, as you said earlier, how does Osbo find the grip? All that experience he has driving in the snow and ice in Norway is coming into play here. He's just so settled, so controlled. You can see in the chase position there, Ryan Turk makes contact with the wall lightly, then loses drift, understeers a bit, gets back to angle, and then over-rotates the car, does a little 360 there. In the lead position, Osbo gets into the wall a little bit in outside zone number 2. You can see it slows the car up quite a bit, but he doesn't lose drift. He stays in it, stays on throttle, gets through inside clip 2, and then outside zone 3. See his team thrilled at that track completion right there. Ryan Turk now, he's in the lead.
Ryan, here we go. This is for the win. Who is going to come out on top at a crazy event? All signs are saying Frederick Osbo, we send it for the last time of 2022. Ryan Turk, a big deficit.
Ooh,
and we got a restart. Why not?
You jinxed it, Jared. This is our last start.
I'll be here all weekend until tomorrow. All right, so there we are. Let's run them back. Get them back up there. I did jinx them. I said we're going to send it for the last time.
No, you're not.
Psych. Ryan Turk and that Rain-X truck and SUV Toyota GR Corolla on Nitto tires. Both these gentlemen, again, Toyota pilots on Nitto tires, Rockstar energy drink. And they are both gonna hold up the big silver cups, one bigger than the other. The back-to-back 3-time champion of Frederick Osbo, Ryan Turk getting 3rd place. Ryan Turk sitting in the deficit. Can Frederick Osbo make this the perfect event? Ryan Turk, big deficit. Osbo with the advantage. Turk now looking comfortable, nice and settled. Frederick Osbo comes, bangs on it, comes out of drift a little bit, as long as he keeps it sideways, taps those brakes. Turk rolling through and past that inside clip. Frederick Osbo initiating in that 2nd outside zone. Again, trying to make it perfect. #1 qualifier, 3-time champion. Ryan Turk is doing a great job. Frederick Osbo way off that line, but hasn't made that mistake. Cross that finish line, Frederick Osbo, and he will get the win. It looks like Frederick Osbo will unofficially make this a perfect event on that #1 qualifying, getting the win, holding the carbon fiber trophy, holding the championship, 1 and 3. Toyota, Nitto, Rockstar. What an amazing ending to a 2022 season. Controlled chaos at its finest in the wet through 8 rounds of competition. First and third in the championship, first and second. Gold car for a reason, silver car for a reason. It delivers. There you go, we're making steam, and we're celebrating here at Irwindale for these 2 pilots and weapons of mass destruction. There you have it, Frederick Osbo getting the win, Ryan Turk getting second, and guess what? Jeff Jones gets his first ever Formula Drift carbon fiber trophy, and right here in his backyard of Irwindale Speedway. Ryan, how we doing?
Incredible. Yeah, what a wild round this was. We saw so many different aspects of driving and weather, and we had to kick everybody out of the grandstands, Jared.
Just thinking about this season, man, Long Beach to here. It feels like forever ago, and it feels like yesterday at the same time.
Yeah.
And there they are getting outside of their car, the fans joining them back over there. And man, these guys are gonna have to thaw out, taking out his steering wheel. Look at that. And we're bringing him down. Look at that, joining him out there. Let's make some noise for him. There's your 1, 2, and 3.
Yes.
All right, let's make it official. Third place here at round 8 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship with his first ever Formula Drift Carbon Fiber Trophy, Evo AutoWorks, GT Radial, Nissan 370Z, Prisma Energy Innovations. Make some noise. 818, Jeff Jones. And your winner here at round 8 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship. Let's just get right to it. Let's celebrate. We got trophies, we got champagne. Your winner here, round 8 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship, is Frederick the Norwegian Hammer Osbo! And with that, Freddie climbs the fence, harnessing the lightning power, the Norwegian Hammer. And with that, second place goes to, again, the Toyota GR Pilot on Nitto tires, Rockstar energy drink driver, the 401, Roman's dad, Shannon's husband. Second place. Third place overall in the championship, the Rain-X vehicle is Ryan Turk here at Irwindale. Frederick Osbo, Ryan Turk, and Jeff Jones. Congratulations. Lorette Nickel is down there. Lorette, let's wrap this thing up and get to the podium. Man, Lorette, we got to thaw you out too.
Yeah,
it's cold, it's wet. Lorette, down to you.
I am making my way right over here to Frederick Osbo with the perfect event. Can you believe it? The #1 qualifier, the winner of the event, and the 3-time champion, Frederick Osbo, on such a chaotic course, so slippery. How are you finding grip out here?
Oh my God, long story short, I wasn't finding grip. It was insane. I went from enjoying the dry conditions to rain coming down, started hating the rain. I mean, it was, pardon my language, a shit show in top 32. Got through that magically, and now in these conditions I enjoy myself. It reminds me of, you know, my upbringing in Norway and the rainy roads and you know, all that practice with all my buddies back home, all my friends, it really paid off today. And to go against Ryan, you know, Rockstar Toyota teammate here and Nitto in the finals, it was unbelievable. Great day.
Amazing. So how do you even celebrate this 3rd championship?
Oh, you want to know? Well, we are doing a big desert trip, and we're going to bring that trophy on a tour, and we're going to be drinking out of that trophy for 2 weeks straight and party it up. Ain't that right?
Yeah, love it. Everyone out here you want to thank?
Absolutely. All of you guys that stayed there till the bitter end, all of you guys that are diehard drift fans, I think it's time for an applause for you guys. Thank you.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2022 Formula Drift champion, Jeff Jones, get over here. We weren't able to talk to you on the sight lap. Unfortunately, your car broke. I thought you were going to get on the podium and bring your supercharger with you.
You know, I mean, that's always been the plan, but we did switch superchargers. We are on a different setup nowadays. That is a whole new car. You know, I just don't even know what to think right now. It's hasn't fully hit. I'm not on that box yet. The team put in so much effort. We kept saying that we were going to do this. Every single time we wanted to bring our A game, we put our heart and soul into every single thing that we did. So this is insane. It's like sinking in right now. It's like really just, this is tough. You know how long I've been doing this, so we just really been trying to push this as hard as we possibly can. And then Osbo goes up there and just tears it up on that wall, and I'm like, all right, we got to run the high line if we want to win. So I tried to do that in the sight lap to see how it goes, because, you know, beating Turk is not easy at all, and just bit me in the butt. But hey, I'm on the box. It's my first time, so woo!
And of course, I am looking for Ryan Turk, who finished 3rd overall. Ryan, come here. There you are. Grabbing 2nd place. Congratulations. That was an incredible season. You, as a driver, you're always so honest and candid with me, and I really appreciate that. You wear your heart on your sleeve, and you gave it everything this season.
Yeah, I just got to say hats off to the team. They're the ones, I got to drive an awesome car all year, and they're the ones that made it awesome for me to drive. So it's, and it's a lot of work. I don't have many words left at the moment, but I just want to thank crew chief Brian, Nick Byatt, our main tech, and then Dominic Engineering, Dominic Biro for all the hard work they put in. My buddy Kuzi, who's out here tonight helping us out with a fully bummed out knee, but he's pulling through and just doing it for us, and it's just a great effort all around. You know, we had so many ups and downs this season, and you know, maybe if we can clean some of that stuff up for next year, we'll be on the top of the box. So.
Yeah, right. And looking at that, the 1st place in Long Beach, dropping to 5th, getting to 3rd, you have fought your way the whole time. So what's the biggest takeaway, and how do you refocus for next year?
I think just take a break, do something else for a while, and then you know, gear back up for the season next year and just feel refreshed. I think that's the biggest thing, is stepping away for as long as you need to, so that you come back in with that fire and energy and that will and want to win.
Yeah, absolutely. And good thing you have the best wife on the planet.
Yes.
And baby Roman, you're going to have baby cuddles when you get home.
Yes, hi, Shannon, for thanks to my wife, Shannon, for doing such an awesome job with our son, Roman. And I'm going to be on the road for a little bit here, and this is just the first stretch. So hats off to my wife for doing such a great job at home and holding it down for us.
All right, Ryan Turk, congratulations on your 2nd place and your 3rd overall. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been a wild weekend, but put your hands together for Jeff Jones in 3rd, Ryan Turk in 2nd, and your champion and winner, Frederick Osbo.
Thank you so much, Lorette, for getting on the ground and basically understanding and getting in the driver's faces, asking the hard questions, either, you know, glad, sad, happy, mad, everything in between. There are your podium finishers, not only here at Irwindale, but 1 and 3. And Jeff Jones, man, what a cool ending. And, you know, Lorette touched on that, just all the experiences. And it's you know, always so fun to talk about basically, you know, not just this round, but overall 8 rounds of competition. And it, you know, kicks off in Long Beach, not too far away from here. But your thoughts overall on the season, man?
Wow, it's what else do you say? We've said it so many times. You know, it's wild, it's crazy. We did have a repeat winner finally in this season, which it would have been crazy to have all different. But this event right here, I think, has challenged everybody more than any other event this season in terms of weather, cars braking, and just a difficult track to drive. So kudos to everybody that made it through to the end.
The progression of the sport is what's amazing to me, and it's always about just, you know, perception and where you're at. But there are your winners of every round. We talked about this, 7 rounds, 7 winners until now. And of course, in poetic fashion, Frederick Osbo, 2-time winner this year, the only one, also 3-time champion, defending champion. Perspective is everything, and where you're at. We're up in the box, but being down on the ground, being behind the wheel, being a sponsor up in the booth or being in the stands, you know, you're seeing the sponsors behind us. Thank you for supporting this. Would love to see just more support of what we call Action Sports Motorsports. I've been announcing this series, had the pleasure of working with Ryan Sage and Jim Lau. Thank you to Ryan, our president. Thank you to all those that invest and put time into this. That boo, that means you care. Those that cheer, that means you're here. So thank you so much for being part of this Formula Drift family. I really appreciate this from the bottom of my heart, and I'm sure that's the sentiments of many others out there. So thank you so much for contributing and obviously investing into the sport and into Formula Drift, the premier international drifting sanction body. We hope to see you at round 1 on the streets of Long Beach to kick off our 2023 season. And it's a big one. Guess why? We're celebrating 20 years. What was a fad in many people's eyes is not a fad. It's here to stay. It's here to get sideways, and we're here to play. So thank you so much. On behalf of the whole team, we'll see you online, or we'll see you another time, or we'll see you in April at round 1 of the 2023 Formula Drift Championship. Thank you to all the team, the production crew, Kemp and the crew, Lee. Guess what? Go Padres. All joking aside, thank you so much. And babe, I'll see you soon. Love you. To Parker, Tyson, and Stephanie. And thank you to my whole family for their support. Send it, Formula Drift Nation. That's a wrap on our 2022 Formula Drift Championship. Congratulations to Frederick Osbo for your 2022 champion.